I like how that's how you use that to describe Loki's character, and then he dies.
I mean, he did. That's what happened. I don't know what to tell you, man.
I honestly thought his death was fucking like shit in Infinity War. He's like, I'm gonna walk up to the guy who's got like two of the Infinity Stones now, and
Oh,
I'm gonna
you'd be
try to
really
stab
mad
him
at
in
the
the
Dark World then.
at
It's
what?
more like they just really wanted to get him out of the way.
Yeah.
They fucked up. He had like a fake out death scene in Thor: The Dark World.
Oh,
Yep.
So like, if you thought that was shit, no, you'd be really upset about that.
it's more the
Yeah, he
fact of like,
pretended to die in Dark World, and then Thor's like all sad about having lost his brother, despite all the things he did and their troubled relationship. He goes on, blah blah blah, and Loki just like,
he's
well,
like he's
I
like
will go back
lol.
to Asgard and
He's
kill
like
my pops.
he's like lol. I'm Odin. Yeah, I know that part. But it only bothers me because it's like, what was your plan? Was to stab the guy with the Infinity Gauntlet in the throat with that dinky ass little knife. I personally would have like, I don't know,
Well,
maybe.
first of all, you're using meta knowledge. They don't really know what the Infinity Gauntlet is.
Well, yes, that's true. It's just the fact
Yeah.
that he has a device that now contains the Infinity Stones, and he just recently put the Space Stone in there.
Yeah, but he
Also,
doesn't
they
have
do
all of
this
them at this
thing
point.
in Ragnarok. They do that thing where he's fighting alongside the right people now, but they don't treat that as him having been redeemed, which
Mm,
is like a very easy trap to fall into a lot of the time with that. So I sort of appreciate that they stuck that landing.
okay. I guess I would have just had him be more involved in the story. Because if
I mean,
Loki's supposed to be intelligent, he wouldn't have just tried to do the dinky little knife thing. Maybe he would have used his mischief to just delay the Black Order from obtaining more of the stones. Doing just
yeah,
you
like
doing
I said,
subterfuge.
His death scene was more just like they really just wanted to get rid of him, so they had him act stupid,
Yeah,
uncharacteristically stupid.
yeah. That's one of my only problems with Infinity War. But uh, so hi everybody, welcome. Uh,
Oh shit, are
yeah,
we live?
yeah, we're live. Uh,
Neat.
welcome to this episode of Y.A.R.P. So we saw WandaVision, the first two episodes.
Of
Wait,
apparently three, but
2
there's no third one as
episodes?
far as
yeah, yeah. I know Moviebob likes to live in his weird reality where there was a third episode released, but no, the rest of us only got two. Uh,
I'm curious to see what he'll
Well,
actually say about it because
yeah,
there's
maybe
only two.
Moviebob is special and gets like special access because he's a Disnoid, or
oh God. Um, so what did everybody think about it? Like it's like without just should we go into spoilers and just fucking like go into it, or should we like
I
just
mean,
give
so
Chin?
few people give a shit about this show that I don't think we'll have a problem with spoilers.
All
So
right.
many people are just not even interested in watching it.
So who wants to start? Who wants to start the WandaVision conversation?
well, that's a hell of an intro there, man. Just going right into it, but
Yeah.
okay,
Expedient.
Well,
expedient indeed.
s-
It's what we're known for here on Yarp,
yeah.
expediency.
Yeah, getting to the point and not getting going on any tangents whatsoever. We spend the entire 6 to 7 hours being exactly on point.
Yep, long man is bad.
Totes.
Long Man is indeed bad. Uh,
But
so
WandaVision, I don't mind going in first.
yeah, all right.
Okay, just to kind of cover the premise of the show, it just opens up as like Wanda and Vision were given no context to begin with, but they're now in like a 1950s family sitcom, and they like pay a lot of homage to things like Bewitched and what's the genie one?
I Dream of Genie.
That yeah, that one, and other stuff like the Honeymooners and to an extent like Flintstones and shit. That entire genre of show, and they kind of really go for the aesthetic, which I kind of appreciate because I grew up on those kinds of shows. So there's a lot of nostalgic shit in there. But when you look at the actual show itself, it's got a couple of pacing issues. Like they're building this slow build mystery thing, which is mostly pretty cool and interesting. But the all the characteristics of the old shows they're paying homage to, it's really cute at first, but it gets old. Things like the aspect ratio or laugh tracks. It's like, we got rid of this shit for a reason.
Yeah, the
So having it there at the beginning, cute. By the second episode, is like, can we just go back to normal now, please? We got the joke. It was very nice. Please end it.
yeah.
So
Uh, I don't know how I feel about the homages to things like the Honeymooners and Bewitched and stuff. I don't know how I feel about it.
What do you mean?
overall, I kind of like it because it's something you don't really see much, and it gives them like a lot of fun things to do. It's like the practical effects with her magic, where they use wire work and shit, just as this cheap thing to make it look authentic while also slightly skimping on their own budget.
Hmm.
It's a nice touch, and it is cute, but it also gives us like this good, deliberately over the top, wholesome backdrop for like the mystery that they slowly start to creep in.
Yes,
So I kind of dig it.
I wanted a lot more of the general story to kind of. I know we got like those big twists and turns, like as the story was going on, but I kind of wanted a lot more than we did get, because I feel like 90% of the episode was always about the like, hey, check out what we're doing. We're like basically doing Bewitched, and it's like, come on, like,
Yeah, episode one is almost entirely straight face an episode like one of those old shows with two moments. One is just like a very tiny little splash of color you see on a light for a toaster that's being shown on an infomercial, and it sounds like Iron Man suit. It's got like Stark Industries written on it. And then there was like this actual moment where, whatever mm, alternate reality or simulation or whatever the fuck they're in, we don't know yet, but it kind of like it
si-
breaks a
yeah,
little
the
bit and we get this
simulation
really
breaks.
tense moment. And yeah, that was like our one little hook. That was the mystery hook. So then you go into episode two and you're looking for those things, and they do I think this is the problem. They do the same again, where they do this straight face episode, but now with like, instead of the little toaster, we now get the red the toy. And then we get this other moment later on with the
The,
bitchy one,
the
the
radio,
neighborhood.
Dottie.
Dottie.
Also, yes, the radio. So we actually get three moments in episode two, where
Well,
yeah,
and the
the first one's the
beekeeper.
red toy. And also, I'd like to throw at that. I think that tree thing. I think we should have paid a little bit more attention to that. I don't think that was just a cute comedy moment. I think that was some of like the outside world trying to get our attention. Because we also see
Possibly.
that with the radio. That I I think they're doing that thing where, oh, you were in a coma the whole time, but like in everything up to that, it's like the radio's got like a weird voice that's calling out to the main character or
Hmm.
something. So you've got kind of some of that going on, and then at the end of the episode, something happens that she finds unacceptable, and she rewinds time and alters the simulation. So the big reveal in episode two is that she's the one who made this. She's the one
Yeah.
controlling it. This is her fantasy and this is her reality. So now that we have that, the whole plot needs to start really picking up pace. If it doesn't, it's gonna be bad. But so far, I'm kind of cautiously optimistic, especially if they can nail the mystery and we get away from like some of the tisms about the cutesy references to old stuff that we're
Yeah.
tired of now.
Everywhere you look, it's just like, no, please, for the love of God, no, just fucking get on with it. Just what?
It's like,
See,
we've had the references now. I got the references; they were very nice. Can we just have not a show that is just that, please?
remember Brady Bunch?
Remember Bewitched?
Doo doot, doo doot, doo doot, doo 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 doot. See, I I am like mixed. The more thought I give it, like as somebody who grew up watching that kind of stuff, like I watched MASH, Bewitched, Golden Girls. Um, it felt kind of nice, and the fact that like they were like accurately doing the dialogue and like how that would have been done for the era.
Oh yeah, they were accurate
Um,
as fuck. The attention to detail was commendable.
yes. Um, and Ninja, do you want to talk how you were feeling? Because while Ninja, well, not Ninja, while Slur and I were watching this, you were pretty much just like you're like meh, get
Well,
on with it.
I don't have a lot of investment in the older shows and all the throwbacks and those kind of Easter eggs. So for me, I'm waiting to see how this connects to the Marvel stuff.
Right.
I'm wanting to see how this sets up Phase 4.
Do we know how long the season is going to be, by the way?
I don't
Let me
believe
look that
so.
up. Um,
I haven't heard anything
how
about it
many
specifically.
Yeah, because that will kind of
episodes?
set expectations for what the pacing should be, like just for where the big drops will be. Because if it's like
9.
12 episodes, 9 episodes, yeah. Okay, so we've gotten the big reveal as a big clue as to what's happening in episode 2. Episode 3, they really start accelerating. They should be on track. It's only if they have filler episodes. They do not have room for those.
Yeah. Um,
I said that's something that hasn't happened yet, so it's not really a criticism. It's just
right.
something that could fuck it up.
I Yeah, there's a lot of potential here. I almost want to say like that, and that's kind of just it, because I feel like we'll be able to talk about it more the more info we receive about the situation.
Yeah, right now it's just literally a first impression where the mystery, yeah, it's pretty neat. It could be moving a little faster, but overall, I'm kind of interested to see where it goes. The reference shit was fun, and by the end of episode 2, we've now like moved on to the next era of TV. So they're
Yeah, we've now
changing
gone to
shit up.
color.
Oh yeah, the invention of color. I bet we're still gonna have the laugh track though, and that's ooh, it hurts.
Oh
I don't like it.
God, just like we had this whole conversation like yesterday about like watching like comedies without the laugh track and how painful it is to look at.
And I will say it's like you look at the three examples. You've got this, you've got Friends, and you have Big Bang Theory. And we actually had a look at one of those Friends clips that they removed
Yeah,
the laugh track from. And even though they had these ridiculous, cringy pauses in their speech, the things they were actually saying and doing still kind of read as just normal people.
yeah, they were
When you
still
compare that
acting
to like
like,
the Big Bang Theory, and oh man, that's
yeah,
uncanny valley
where
as
there's
fuck.
like so many fucking pauses.
Yeah, and then you come back to this, and again, it's airing on that slightly less Tismy side where they still sound like they're having a conversation between two people that they don't have these huge pauses for. So they're doing the laugh track about as good as you can do a laugh track, which is kind of inherently shit.
In terms of like things of that era as well, um, we weren't expecting the infomercial, and we weren't expecting the reference to the Cold War.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
like some of the jokes actually were really funny, just because, like I said, I commend them on their accuracy to the era.
do
Because
you
oh
hate it
man,
when your wife burns your toast and it's just like I wasn't expecting that, and then
no, it
right,
wasn't even that. It was aimed at the women because they're selling an appliance. It's like, does your husband hate it when you burn his toast? It's like, oh my god.
and then and my favorite one, the one that still kills me, is when in the first episode when Vision's boss comes in, and it's
Oh
like
yeah, we
she's
don't
from
break bread
Sokovia.
with Bolsheviks.
Yeah, she's from Sokovia. Oh, Europeans, how exotic. We don't break bread with Bolsheviks. And it's just like, whoa.
And then they do it's not quite similar, but they do another communism joke there in the second episode as well, just because
Oh,
you know.
yeah, this guy is a communist. And then
And then
everybody.
there's just this really heavy pause, and then they just kind of just start laughing because yeah, he's making edgy jokes. Yeah, it's fine, it's fine. Whereas like Vision is just did not get the context for it
No, no,
whatsoever.
yeah, he straight up just accused, he just McCarthy eraed somebody. He just went, they are a communist. And then, like, he was expecting them to, like, fucking lynch him. Uh, um, is it a bit weird that the gum thing was a bit weird to me?
It
The
was a little odd, yeah. It's like they were definitely leaning more into like the silliness of the 50s stuff, but because they are still actively tying this into the rest of Marvel, you do need to keep that consistency of powers in mind. So now we do know that Vision, fucking Megamind Uber Vibranium God, actually has a canon weakness now. if he has like gum, it'll jam up his gears and shit in his stomach, which he has for some reason, and he'll get shit face and do a magic show.
That magic show was fucking hilarious.
It was
Sorry,
a pretty good scene.
I'm like eating a
And now that we
sandwich.
actually get scenes where Vision is allowed to have a personality, I do like that. Not all of them are winners by far, but getting to see him act and do stuff, seeing him and Wanda actually
Yeah,
interact and have
watching
some
Paul
kind of
Bettany
relationship is nice.
watching Paul Bettany actually act is really good because you kind of forget that he's actually a really good actor.
Yeah, and when he's allowed to like crack jokes and make himself look silly, he's having a lot of fun, and it's kind of fun to
Mm-hmm.
watch. And then just a lot of the reasons people just aren't even giving the show a chance is because no one cares about the relationship. Because in Infinity War, it was barely even there, and when it was there, it was almost cringy because we had no setup to any of it.
Yeah, it's like
So it's a little too late to see how they actually have chemistry now, but it is nice to see regardless.
it's okay, Wanda. I just feel you, and then fucking dies, only to get
Yeah.
revived, then dies again,
And
and
then
then
she
she
gets
dies.
dusted as well. It's like, wow, that went fucking nowhere. Fizzled out like a candle.
Yeah, I hope this is good. Disney, come on, this is like your show directly preceding The Mandalorian. Don't fuck
I
this
also said
up.
this before we even started watching. The fact that nobody cares also, in a weird roundabout way, works in the show's favor because they have so much wiggle room to not fuck anything up that anyone cares about.
Uh huh.
It's like they've got a golden platter here. They can go in whatever weird direction they like, and because nobody was invested in them from the beginning, they can get us invested and get us invested in like this weird little side story that's going on without fucking anything up. It's like a padded room for a show to just be free in. I do like that. Which is also why I really hope it doesn't turn out to be shit.
All
Because it
right.
would be nice to have just an original new thing that's nice.
Yes, it very much would. You guys,
But now we have to hear Moviebob's take.
on a quick little thing on the Marvel TV shows. Am I the only one that's kind of looking forward to the Falcon and Winter Soldier? Just because I want to see what they were gonna do with that like end cap thing from Endgame. The idea that Falcon's now gonna be Captain America.
Yeah, I think that's really fucking silly. He's not a super soldier. He's just a dude with
Yeah,
metal wings.
they were they
Unless
were
they give him the super soldier serum and he just comes out fucking dieseled. That would be funny.
What's funny is I love how they like made this like big deal like now he's Captain America when this version of Falcon has received almost zero personality. He's just been
Yeah.
whereas Rhodey is official military black guy. Fucking Sam is just he's just like kind of I don't want to say street thuggish, but he doesn't talk like Rhodey, and basically during Civil War, it was we both have our black best friend helping us out in this on our side.
Yeah. And now the black best friend gets to hold the torch. Yay! Even though it's like, I think they were waiting for a lot of backlash because Bucky is the one who becomes the next Captain America in like comics and shit. But
Well,
really, just
after Steve
nobody
died
gave a
in
shit because nobody knows the character.
after Steve died in Civil War, yes, Bucky picked up the mantle, but Falcon is the one to most recently hold the Captain America mantle before Steve got
When does that
back.
happen?
In the comics, this happened a couple years ago. He got all the super soldier
Oh,
stuff
very
drained from his
recent.
body, and he turned into an old man. Sam became Winter Soldier. Not was yes, Sam became Captain America. And while he's doing shit, Cap becomes young again, and then that's when they start the whole Hail Hydra bullshit. It was
Right.
really, really fucking tismy. Ugh. So and the funniest thing is, so with this Moviebob video, as I pull down the banner, and okay, Ivan, I'm sorry, you're gonna need to go away. I pulled Ivan News right off the screen. Let's see. So Moviebobs made this review, and it said of episodes 1 through 3, and what's funny is there were only 2 episodes that were released.
Yeah, we have no idea what the fuck he's talking about at episode 3. And we've looked, there is no episode
Yeah,
3 released.
every time we keep seeing that this thing that he's done, we're like, are we sure? Are we missing something? Like we keep just looking in case there's just a mysterious third episode that we just need. It's like, all right, let's watch it. So we finally know. But let's get into this. Okay, yes, the speed is right.
Yes, it's set to Moviebob mode. Okay, having his theme in slow-mo just makes him sound like a fucking heel wrestler about to step into the ring.
Yeah, WandaVision episodes 1 through 3.
Okay, I guess. So potential actual spoilers, I guess? Question mark?
Oh no, these are spoiler free. He says.
Oh, so he's not actually going to be able to talk
Opening a
about
review of a Marvel Studios production with a vaguely meta riff about how tired people probably are of meta riffs, about how played out it is to open a review with a meta riff on the theme
Hold
of,
on,
well,
what the
Marvel
fuck is that sentence?
I don't
Jesus
know.
Christ.
I don't know, and it's like we said this before the fucking stream started. I can't understand. Okay, so Moviebob, he has a heavy fucking Boston accent, and I can't understand people with Boston accents to save my
It's not
life.
the accent that does it for me, it's just that he doesn't really construct sentences well. They're all run-on sentences
It's not
that
even a
don't really
run-on
have good...
sentence. It's just one word. He just says all his sentences just one word. Ugh.
does it again. Is there ever going to be anything they're bad at? Is probably the only thing more actually played out than a sincere non-meta riff on how tired people probably are of actually hearing, well, Marvel does it again. Is there ever going to be anything they're bad at?
And you can actually
Save
hear
for
that he edits himself to sound like that. Not only does he speak at a speed where all of his words run into each other, he actually edits out any like half-second pause
Yeah.
just so that like his videos as verbosely dense as possible, I guess.
And what's weird?
Style choices.
What's weird is like, apparently, like, I wonder if people from Boston actually sound like this, or if he's laying the accent on even thicker than he's
For
supposed
years,
to be.
I just know this because like I've seen other Moviebob videos, but his natural accent is a strong Boston accent. It's just in a lot of videos he tones it down, and just as time's gone on, he's put less and less effort into it. The same way that his videos kind of look the same for years with no changes or upgrades.
Huh.
Because he has to turn them out. Like, this is a job, don't you know?
perhaps
Which is his
simply
defense.
foregoing the layers of irony and saying, yeah, Marvel did it again. Is there ever going to be anything they're bad at?
Oh no, I've gone cross-eyed.
Subject-relevant jokes
Captain Marvel, Thor: The Dark World.
Yeah, there's plenty of shit they've been bad at.
Objectively, Avengers Endgame, despite the fact that I love the shit out of it.
Oh, it was a lot of fun. It's just, it doesn't hold up very well.
Yeah, it very much breaks the universe, and you can't expect the following movie. It's like, it teaches you the lesson of don't trust the follow-up movie to kind of patch things up. Like, that's the lesson I learned from that and Far From Home, because I pretty much wanted Far From Home to just be the let's answer all your endgame questions movie.
Well, the
It's about
TLJ approach. Let's answer all your questions with the mystery box was empty the whole time. Psych.
JJ!
necessarily stacked layers of overly clever meta-comedy aside, if you were coming just to find out if WandaVision is any good or not, or rather how I felt about the first 3 episodes that were made available
He
to
says it
critics and
again.
press for preview, 2 of which have maybe
Oh, there it is. He
Oh.
did get the Disnoid pass. You called it.
You got the Disnoid pass.
How did we get one of those? I mean, who do we sell our soul to is kind of the more accurate question.
Well, I preemptively accidentally sold my soul considering my Mandalorian tattoo.
Oh, yeah. Maybe you can get it. Just
Oh,
show
God.
off your Disnoid brand.
I'm just like, hey guys, the Mandalorian is so good. Just like I just start vomiting, just like, oh. Like that scene in Ghost Rider. Fucking Bob Iger just walks in, and is like, "Welcome to the club, Wyatt." Touches me on my shoulder. I just feel my soul leave my body.
And you just turn into Gollum, but instead of coughing up your name, you just cough the word Tism.
Tism, Tism. Nah, no, I hate that. It's like people are like, "Oh, do you like the Mandalorian?" I'm like, "No, it's fucking shit." It's entertaining, but its writing is awful.
I mean, what we do to it is fun to do, but that's not the same thing.
I know.
Viewing on Disney Plus starting today, the short answer is so far a very intrigued and enthusiastic yes, and also that this review is spoiler free with only minor story and character business mentioned, so do with that what you will. And as for Marvel scores again being too predictable of a press narrative, what do you want? Look, it'd make my job a lot easier if there was more erratic quality variance in this particular franchise.
Well, it's interesting you say that because that is exactly the case, and if it would make your job easier, it's odd you wouldn't jump on that opportunity. Unless you just have no standards.
What?
I know, right? This is getting into like the tinfoil hat territory now.
Yeah, that was
Shocking.
really weird. It's like if there was a dramatic like dip in quality between these films, and it's like there is. Captain Marvel
What are you
fucking
talking about?
sucks.
And if it would make your job easier, then fucking go for it, man. Like, no one's stopping you.
Right, I
Except
feel
your
like you just
overlords.
need like two columns, you got the pros and the cons, and you look at like this giant pile of movies that makes up the Infinity Saga, and you just start sorting them into two piles.
Yeah, and only like 4 films are really any good.
I don't think it's that bad,
I think
but
there's a few that are like really good, and then there's a few more that are pretty damn good, and then you kind of get into the middle ground where you're just gonna have to go through with a fine tooth comb.
I was going to say, so Iron Man 1, great. Iron Man 2, not so great.
Iron Man 3, absolutely shit.
Absolute dog shit.
okay, so that brings up an interesting point. Which, if you only got the two piles, which pile do you put Iron Man 2 in?
Not good.
Yeah,
But it's
not
serviceable.
good.
Like it compared to 3, it's not absolute dog shit.
Oh, it's much better than 3, but it's still got a lot of problems, and it's got some of those the Spider-Man 3 / Wonder Woman 84 problems. Things don't make sense. Villains keep
What,
coming out of the
rape?
woodwork. But
Ha!
luckily, they avoided that one. Although your man did come from prison, so you never know.
Okay. So I brought up the Marvel movies release order. Okay. So we'll have the 2 piles. Good and then dog shit. Iron Man 1, good.
Good.
The Incredible Hulk, bad. I love the shit out of it, but it's a bad fucking movie.
Oh god, it's a disaster piece.
Iron Man.
I really like Edward Norton's version of Bruce Banner, but
Yes.
I don't like the Hulk in that movie.
I will say
It's like the Green Giant.
Well, the problem being is that I think he's honestly the most comic accurate visualization of the Hulk. I don't.
That's just because he uses those like Tismy transition scenes where they look like panels, but they're like actual live action footage.
that was Ang
it's a
Lee's
mess.
Hulk.
It's a visual.
That's Ang Lee's Hulk. The Incredible Hulk is the one with Edward Norton.
Yeah,
Hold on, I'll have to Google it because it's me in titles. Hold on.
Right, there were two.
well,
Ang Lee's was just called Hulk.
Yeah, so when it comes to like, I don't know if it's me, but when I look at Mark Ruffalo's version of the Hulk post Avengers 1, I'm like, you don't really look like Hulk. Something's off. And I think it's because
He basically just looks like Mark Ruffalo.
Yeah, they just posted. They just enlarged Mark Ruffalo's face, and I'm just like, yeah, that's not Hulk.
Well, and I'm not even particularly that big of a fan of his Bruce Banner.
Oh yeah, his Bruce Banner is fucking pathetic.
So it's like, to me, Edward Norton was like the definitive Bruce Banner. I didn't really like Eric Bana either. Thought he was garbage.
That's because I don't think he knew what he was doing there. Well, to make it like what's a superhero? Hi, Pike. I'm Nero. God, the fucking Star Trek reboot. So after Iron Man 2, which has good moments and a lot of potential, but ultimately bad.
Yeah, it's
Uh,
got problems.
And that's mainly, I will say, that's studio interference on that one. Jon Favreau
Oh,
and Mickey
yeah.
Rourke, like, they had something going. But the fucking studio interfered. Thor. I haven't watched it, and I don't want to.
The first one, it's got some good shit, but it's mostly just kind of boring.
It's fairly passable, not overly like offensive or dog shit. It's just kind of meh.
It's like
Uh,
it might slip into good just by not having anything that majorly drags it down.
I liked the Warriors 3 showing up in it, and I liked the Destroyer. Those were
Okay.
done
I
pretty well.
wasn't a big fan of the design of the Destroyer. I think they could have lent into the Asgard aesthetic way more because it looks like,
Well, but that's comic accurate, though.
yeah, fair
Like,
enough.
it's not. I agree that it could have looked a lot more, Norse-ish, but that does look like what it looks like in the comics. So it's like, oh, okay, it's the Destroyer,
yeah,
but on camera.
it's like a kind of what do you want thing.
Yeah. So yeah, but yeah,
Um,
like that's like I said, it's gonna slip into good just because it's passable and there's nothing I can remember that really set me off.
Captain America: The First Avenger, good.
Yeah, pretty fucking good.
Like a lot of people give it flack, and I'm just like, why? It's a fucking fantastically written film. Like I can't think of much tism in Captain America: The First Avenger.
I mean, I'd have to watch it again to be sure, but like I said, I don't really remember anything that stands out as a problem. Like most of it flows pretty well.
Uh, The Avengers, good.
Uh, yeah, yeah, good.
Iron Man 3, dog shit.
Yeah, dog shit.
Iron Man, like I'm one of those weird people that like Iron Man 2. So when I saw Iron Man 3, I was like, what the fuck is this shit?
I like parts of Iron Man too. Some of the fights are really cool. It's just the plot is Disney.
Thor: The Dark World.
Shit.
I mean,
Shit.
that's the one everyone agrees on as being the worst, even though I don't think it
No one
necessarily
remembers
is.
it. No.
Yeah, that's the
Well,
problem.
it
It's the
used to be
most
the
forgettable.
worst. I think that it's been usurped. Like, it used to hold that crown for quite a while as being like, ooh,
Yeah.
this was the dark spot on the MCU.
Yeah, now they've had more dark spots, so it blends in a bit better. See, I
Yeah.
think its main problem is just that it's so fucking forgettable. Barely anyone remembers having seen that movie.
Winter
And I would say it
Soldier.
does have
Oh,
like
shit.
good moments in the very beginning. It's like that opening sequence where like Thor and Loki are forced to work together. It's like very much like actual Norse myth. It's like, oh, this is actually a little bit of fun. And then yeah, Loki does the fake death thing on like the ash desert place. And then from there, it's like I barely even remember the middle part of the movie.
Yeah.
I just remember that all like the Dark Elves were kind of stupid.
Well,
We
and
did a
there was a
sky
lot
portal as the
with
big bad.
yeah, there was a lot of stuff with Natalie Portman's character and like her
Oh,
absorbing
her
the ether.
entourage and like the fucking really annoying dark-haired girl who just kept getting lines that added nothing to anything. Every time
Yeah.
she was on screen was just like nails on chalkboard.
Captain America: The Winter Soldier. I almost say the fucking cream of the crop when it comes to superhero movies.
It's up there, yeah.
I fucking love me some fucking Winter Soldier. All
I
right.
did like it a lot, mainly just because yeah, it's pretty uncontested. I don't
Yeah.
think anybody really has a problem with Winter Soldier. It's pretty fucking good.
Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1. This fucking film, I feel like I saw this at just the right fucking time. I was getting into college, like, and then just like, bam, Guardians of the Galaxy. I'm like, what, like, the soundtrack, the color palette, just like,
Yeah.
And just the whole like vibe of the thing, because it does that Marvel comedy thing, but it is actually a comedy, so it's not detracting from dramatic moments, which is the
uh-huh.
major criticism. So yeah, it's like, you finally found the movie that was perfect for the tone in which you tell movies. Nice.
Age of Ultron. Bad.
Bad. Very bad.
Um, too much comedy. Um, I don't.
Ultron was a bit of a disappointment. Actually, he was
Yeah,
a lot of a disappointment.
and to pull the adaptation clause for just a second,
Here we
Ultron
go.
fucking won in that story. Like it's all about like the Avengers using like time travel to like prevent Ultron from winning. Like Ultron's a gigantic threat to the Avengers every time, and with this, it kind of they made him like a huckster. Like he's just like
He was
he's
just like the
Well,
anti-Iron Man with his own like Chitauri army thing.
yeah.
And also the most
yeah.
retarded evil plan I've ever heard. It's like, I'm gonna lift a city and then drop it as like a homemade meteorite
Mm-hmm.
for no really explained reason other than fuck these kids, I guess.
Yeah,
Yeah, there would have been so many other ways to do that same goal,
It's like the
you
man
know.
can control nukes. Like, come on.
no, he couldn't control nukes because the bits of Jarvis that were still in Ultron's code were preventing him from accessing the nuclear launch codes. It's dumb, but
Oh
that was
yeah,
the movie's
Jarvis like did
explanation.
he
Yeah,
did a heroic sacrifice thing for the voice in Iron Man's helmet.
yeah. Um,
How noble.
Also, I remember it being a big thing that Age of Ultron was kind of coming out around the same time that we were getting the Quicksilver in the Fox X-Men universe.
yes. So
Oh
they,
yeah, that was
so
not
they,
a
so we,
flattering comparison.
yeah. So we got fucking Quicksilver played by. I don't even remember his fucking name. Hold on, I'll just look it up.
Kick
Avengers.
ass.
Yeah, yeah, that guy. Avengers, Age of Ultron.
I think it's like Aaron Taylor Johnson or something like that.
I think so. Da-da-da-da. Yes, you are correct.
Hooray.
Ant-Man.
I didn't hate it. It was just kind of pointless.
Yeah,
Like especially because at this point in the release schedule, it's like we were very used to these movies like interacting with each other and adding to the overall story, whereas Ant-Man was like they marketed it as a standalone thing, which is fine, totally in favor of that, but they also try to have him be like another Avenger at the same time rather than stick to doing the heist movie that it was
I
really what they were
think
going
they
for.
really fucked up getting rid of Edgar Wright.
yes, because Edgar Wright is so fucking amazing that
Like, I think it would have been kind of the equivalent of like Winter Soldier being more of like a spy thriller. If Edgar Wright had stayed on for Ant-Man, it would have been more of like a heist movie.
yeah,
Yeah,
I
and
will
that's kind of what
s-
would have really stood to it.
that was kind of the unique charm for Phase 2 with the MCU was blank but with Marvel heroes. Winter Soldier was a spy movie but with Captain America. Iron Man 3, which was shit, was a black comedy with Iron Man in it. Like
Mm.
we were basically Guardians of the Galaxy, Flash Gordon, but in the Marvel universe. Um,
Some of
Ant
these comparisons are reachy.
Man was definitely a heist movie, but Marvel
It was
universe.
supposed to be, but then they had to tweak it after they got rid of Edgar.
Right.
Yeah, so when you
Um,
actually see it, it's just like an underwhelming heist movie and also an underwhelming superhero movie.
oh god, the big one, Captain America: Civil War.
Good, very good.
I think it's got some issues.
I'll put it in
Um,
good. I'll put it in good, but I'm gonna fucking put a big asterisk on it that just like is personal opinion. Fucking hate it.
I'm okay with
it
like a personal opinion. I hate it, but like as a movie's like plot wise, it holds up very fucking well. Mostly, I will concede that yeah, there's some problem areas, but they don't detract from the
I
actual
feel
plot
like one of the
progression of them.
weakest things is that it doesn't really set up the two sides of the fight.
Yeah,
It doesn't
especially
do a
like
good job of
when they
establishing that.
when we go straight from Tony Stark. Yeah, because they didn't want to do the Star Wars prequels thing where we actually have to talk about the political situation and the ideas behind it. They really just wanted to set up, oh, this thing happened. Captain America's on one side, Iron Man's on the other. Ooh, conflict. Whereas like
Mhm.
we really could have benefited from understanding exactly what the issue was and what their respective sides were a bit better.
Well, and you understand why Iron Man's on the side he's on. You understand why Cap's on the side he's on, but nobody else's motivations or personalities or profiles are really gone into at all.
The only
Oh
one
yeah, it's
that's
like what
kind of
does
the only one that's
yeah,
kind of
what do any of
explained.
them think about it?
So the only one that's kind of explained is Scarlet Witch, but that's because Tony thinks it'd be a good idea to, piss off the walking WMD. Like, because remember, she was under house arrest. Like in there when they're having that conversation in the police station, and when they're discussing that Cap could just sign the form, they're like, well, what about Wanda? Oh, let's not talk about her. And then it's just like she basically says like how they don't give visas to weapons of mass destruction, and Cap says the right thing that she's a kid, and like
Also, Thor is also like in terms of power tier, entirely capable of the same thing, and he's allowed to walk around freely, even though he too does not have a visa. He
and
arrived through Rainbow Bridge.
and also fucking I really really I
Well,
I find Iron
yes
Man.
and no. Hold on,
Okay,
because
go ahead.
Thor is in this world literally a god,
Hmm.
but in terms of power level, he's not on the same tier as Wanda.
Oh, not in the same tier at all. I just meant in terms of like, as a policy, we were not going to give Wanda a visa because she's dangerous and powerful and all of that stuff. Whereas this man arrived via space beam and is able to like punch buildings. Like, the same principle should apply. We just like him better. His hair's nicer.
Hmm.
Well, one of the things about bringing her into the Avengers that's complicated is she comes from basically the X-Men universe, and their power levels are just on a whole different scale.
Oh yeah.
So it's hard to translate that into, oh, we're going to bring you over to the Avengers, and it's like, duh.
Let's see, that's
Yeah.
more like meta reasoning. It's like we know that outside of that universe because I was confused when I saw them being revealed at the end of fuck, what was their end
Winter
credit
Soldier.
sequence? Yes, so we see like Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch in that end thing, and it's like, hang on, are we gonna start introducing X-Men? Is that a thing now?
I was really hoping they would
Possibly
just say
awful,
fuck
but
it.
possibly neat.
I was hoping they were just gonna say fuck it. Mutants are a thing now. Like,
But they couldn't
I mean,
because
they
Fox
kind of
owned the
did
term.
actually.
right? I know.
They didn't need to. They did that in Agents of Shield with what do they call them?
The
They
Inhumans.
Inhumans.
have yeah, those guys.
Inhumans are
Well,
aliens, though. They're
It's
well,
a
but
different lore, but it's the same end result where you have people around the world who are developing superpowers.
the whole thing about the Inhumans was that was how Marvel got around the fact that Fox basically owned the right to the word mutant.
Yeah, pretty much.
So that's where the Inhumans came from in the first place. And now basically any mutant is identified with the term Inhuman.
yeah. Well, that's because in the comics they fucking killed all the mutants, and now the only people that are left are Inhumans. Um, in the comics they put more deal into it because instead of it being like a genetic mutation via like evolution, with Inhumans they literally just have alien blood in them.
Yeah, and
Um,
they do it. They use the Kree as the
ugh,
alien source of all this, which is so awful because then they actually introduce Kree that come down, and you're
yeah,
watching it like we've seen the Kree. They were in the Guardians of the Galaxy. This is not them.
yeah. The Kree are they're just a generic excuse, and I don't want to
Yeah,
because
that show started off okay-ish, but it did not get good.
what the Inhumans show that started
No,
awfully.
the Agents of Shield. Agents of
Oh,
Shield started off okay.
okay, because yeah, Inhumans that started bad and got canceled halfway through.
Yeah, that Inhumans started off the back of where Agents of Shield ended, and Agents of Shield ended shit.
um, all right, Doctor Strange.
I
I need to rewatch
I
it.
dug it. I kind of dug it.
I like it, but at the same time, I don't know if it's objectively
I
like a
mean, I
good
would have
film.
to watch it again to make like an absolute declarative, but just off the back of my memory, the fact that he fucks around with like the time stone and shit, but he doesn't actually use it to do time travel things. I remember like thinking that was a positive because it didn't fuck with
What?
things too much. He just
How is the time?
introduced.
How is the time
The,
loop not him fucking with time travel shit?
oh no, that's not time travel. He just introduced time to fucking the
Okay,
big
fair
purple
enough.
head.
Yes, yes.
Dormammu. He
It,
introduced time to a place where it shouldn't exist, and Dormammu didn't know how to respond. It's
okay,
like, what the
fair
fuck is
enough.
happening?
Fair enough. Yeah, Dormammu in the Shadow Realm or whatever the fuck it was called. Uh,
Also,
it
the
didn't
fact
have
that he
time.
annoyed a supervillain into submission was just funny,
It's the ultimate Karen move. Um,
right?
Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. I have no opinion. No, I won't put it into either of the piles because I have a weird opinion of Guardians of the Galaxy, and it's the majority where it's not as good as the first. So I'm like, I don't know if that actually puts it in camp good or bad.
I mean, it's not as good as the first, but I still think it was pretty fucking good.
I
I'm trying to think, was there anything that really ruined it? It's like the fact that
the
Star Dad Ego, he put his like sperm flowers on every single planet so that he could eat them all at once.
I think
Seems
there's a lot of
strange.
implication behind that plan though. Like especially when it's finally devouring the planets. That's basically the equivalent of a bunch of natural disasters on God knows how many planets. And
Oh yeah, the death toll by the end of that movie is in the trillions.
and I'm just thinking like, and it shows Earth, and I'm just like, and in the following movie, which was Homecoming, they're like in the
Yeah,
eight
they
month
pretend that it never happened, even though it would have been a
like,
huge fucking
and I'm
deal.
talking about like in between that like 8 month jump between Spider-Man getting the suit and being dropped off back at Aunt May's. And then him riding the train. 8 months pass, and it's like no one's gonna mention that fucking giant blue space blob thing that practically devoured a town in Missouri. Uh, that was an alien attack. Like no one called Iron Man or any of the Avengers to deal with that. It's a bit odd.
Apparently not. So, although is that more of a flaw for the Spider-Man thing, or is that actually a flaw in Guardians too? Because
No,
I don't think it necessarily is.
no, I'm not gonna point that on Guardians of the Galaxy. It's just I wish they had kind of touched more on the implications of what that evil plan meant, and considering for like a good like 20 minutes he succeeded.
Yeah. Like
Uh,
he ate, what was it, like just a little chunk of every planet? That's still a lot of the galaxy.
Yeah, and one of those, like we super know that one of those planets was basically like Coruscant, so a very heavily populated planet. Um,
I would. I wasn't making these lines like objective versus subjective. I was just saying like if you had to quick sort them into the two piles,
oh,
I would lean more towards it's in the good pile rather than the shit pile.
okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Spider-Man
Like it's
Homecoming.
got issues for sure, but
Sorry. Uh, but I'll put it in the good camp. Not as good, but it's still passable.
Yep.
Spider-Man Homecoming.
That's the Vulture one, isn't it?
Yes,
Yes.
and I fucking
Yes.
I love it. I love it now.
Yeah. It's pretty fucking good. It's the best iteration of Vulture. It's like they keep doing that where they take the really small time Spider-Man villains that were like Z tier, and that's like a really fucking good rendition of them.
Have we had the have we had the supervillain talk on Y.A.R.P, specifically the what creates the supervillain?
I don't remember one.
So when you watch superhero movies, and it's not like this general threat, do you think the bad guy should have something to do like near the hero? Like a good example would be, let me think of just one in general. Okay, this literally just popped in my head. As Peter's getting his powers, Norman's getting his powers. Like they both are Oscorp related projects, and they're literally getting their powers at the exact same time. Like I know it's a very loose example, but with should the Vulture's creation should it have something to do with Spider-Man? Because it
Not
is
necessarily. They just need
Yeah.
a character reason to want to stop each other.
okay.
Yeah, I don't necessarily think that the villain needs to be tied to the hero like that. I mean, it's certainly an option, but it's all about the execution.
Right.
Yeah, and it's really just a really firm way of saying like this is why this particular hero is fighting this particular dude. It's why he had to be the one to stop him.
Right.
So yeah, as long as you've covered that base and answered those questions, as far as I'm concerned, you've got freedom.
Okay. I guess I'm just used to the like hero accidentally creating the villain.
It's a good formula, but it does get used a lot. So
Yes.
sometimes I like to see it mixed up where they don't originally have anything to do with each other, but what the villain is doing, the hero has a very strong personal reason to stop them doing that, even if they never met before.
Oh god, Iron Man 3 has the worst example of the hero creates the bad guy. Tony Stark left me on a rooftop while fireworks were going off. He was getting hella laid. I'm gonna be evil now. Next film, Thor Ragnarok. I don't like it.
Yeah, I'm not a fan.
Yeah, I liked some of it, but overall, it's not that great.
Black
It's
Panther.
not something I'd watch again. Black Panther?
Shit.
Let me think.
Yeah, looks Wolf's review, Mahler's review, all the conversations in EFAP.
Or
Yeah,
just
it's
having
shit.
watched it once. It's not very good.
I haven't seen it. I've seen everything related to it, and it's like it's shit.
I've seen it, and yeah, you just watch it once, and you just look at the world they've made, and oh, there's so many questions.
Infinity War, pretty damn good film.
Yeah, pretty fucking good.
Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Haven't seen it.
Yeah, haven't seen it.
That's actually one of the very few I haven't seen.
That's like the least memorable because people forget it was even made.
Yep. Have either of you two seen it?
Nope.
Yeah.
How was it?
What do you think?
It's okay. I don't feel like it does a tremendously good job of capitalizing on, like growing and making the first film more meaningful or making the hero more meaningful. It introduces the Wasp, and that's pretty much it.
Huh. And are you going to sort it into shit or good?
It's very similar to the first one in the sense that it's not like offensively bad. It's
But
just
there's
very
nothing
meh.
good about it either, yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't really feel like it's adding to the rest of the Marvel universe other than to just the whole quantum realm thing. Like we're digging into that again.
Does it actually explain it at all? Does it, like, if you saw that movie, would the shit he does in Endgame make any more sense at all?
The shit who doesn't in game Ant-Man?
When Scott goes into the quantum realm, and then that's how he gets saved from being dusted.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, he already was in the quantum realm. That's
Right.
how Ant-Man and the Wasp ends.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So does seeing it happen make that any better in Endgame, or does it just not make a difference at all?
Not really. I mean, you're seeing it happen, but it's essentially, it boils down to the same thing. He got sucked into the quantum realm before the snap.
Mm.
That's it. That's it.
Fair enough.
And then the snap happens, and everyone that was outside of the quantum realm that was set to bring him back gets dusted.
Yeah, and he's trapped there. But then we're lucky that fucking rat actually hit the button.
The rat saved the universe.
Good rat.
You guys ready for the next one? Captain Marvel.
Shit.
How much time audience, how much time you got?
Yeah, no, it's shit. Everybody knows it's
so
shit.
fucking
Even
bad.
people who like it still have to put an asterisk on it.
No. I'm fucking River likes it, and I'm like, but it's shit.
See, I actually have kind of an interesting story with that because Yaski really liked it. When we went and saw it in theaters, they really enjoyed it, and so they got really into the character. They started doing like reading the comics and everything like that. So I ended up getting them the Blu-ray, and buying it for them. And so we sat down. They also really liked Alita because we went and saw that. And at one point, I was actually going to do a video comparing these two because these two movies got pit against each other a lot for both, movie reasons and also meta and political reasons. So I was going to do like a comparison breakdown. But so we got both of the movies on Blu-ray. We sat down and we watched them both. And this was the first time that we were able to like pause and rewind and do all this stuff with Captain Marvel. It fell the fuck apart, like right before her eyes. And she was like, oh my God, it's so bad.
Yeah, it's the
And
difference it makes to pay attention.
it really does. Yeah. And then we watched Alita and they were like, oh my God, it's so good. And it's
I mean,
just,
even Alita does have problems.
I
But it's
fucking
just
Oh,
love
so much
absolutely.
Alita Battle
bullshit going
Angel.
on too.
but a lot of the mistakes that Captain Marvel makes, Alita does those things like amazingly. So especially when you're comparing the two of them together, it's night and day.
And like here's the thing. Not to mention talking about the Dawn, and how much like how great he is, and just how Captain Marvel's a fucking villain. We as all E.F.A.P. fans, we like to make references to the Dawn. And
Praise be.
so as I make these references, River is just like, no, Captain Marvel was in the right, and it's just like, no, she wasn't.
Yeah,
I fucking
go back and watch it again, and just stop seeing her as a hero. Just see them both as people, and then decide who's the hero based on their actions.
I even
And like, it's fun to talk about, but you can't really hold it against the film because they looked at it and said, "Oh yeah, no, we can't put this in the actual movie. We'll put it in the deleted scenes because it was deleted for a reason."
yeah.
Well,
It's
yeah,
not
but
good.
even the theatrical cut has the whole
Stealing her.
sexual harassment,
No.
stealing his shit.
Well, no.
Wait, so what was actually cut?
No. So here's the thing. The scene goes, nice scuba suit, and then he walks into into the store, and then it shows him her looking at the motorcycle. Then cut. In the
Okay, so she still stole his shit. She
No,
just
there's
didn't break
still
his
the
arm.
line about him asking her for the smile and shit like that. It's just there's not the physical interaction between them where she's like, getting him to surrender the keys. That's what's in the deleted scene. But there's still the interaction between them, and she still ends up stealing all his shit.
Yeah, so it's still like, he sassed me, I'm gonna steal his bike because we're doing a Terminator thing, even though the Terminator was explicitly the bad guy in that movie.
Well,
Nice.
no, and it was Terminator 2, and he wasn't even a bad guy in that scene. He was just being a robot.
I meant Terminator 1 when he goes and steals the bikers' clothes and shit.
That was in Terminator 2. Yes.
How did
he
Terminator 1 open again?
he kills the punks. Hey, my turn.
Oh, yes. I
Laundry
remember.
day. Nothing clean. Then okay, so Captain Marvel, bad. Avengers Endgame.
It's bad.
Bad. It's
Yeah.
bad. It
The more you
creates a
think
lot
about
of
it, the
fucking
more-
problems. It even though it's got some of the, in my opinion, some of the greatest emotional payoffs, it is still sucking fucking
Yeah.
bad.
And a lot of it is a lot of fucking fun. It's very enjoyable, but it's also just not very good. And that's a
Yeah,
distinction.
because the time travel breaks a lot of things, and
We
the thing,
already mentioned that a rat saved the universe.
a rat saved the universe. The time travel is really broken, and also they fucking brought Gamora back to life, basically.
But she's not the same Gamora. She
yeah,
literally has no
I
recollection,
know.
none of the emotional attachments. It's literally just having her body double there again.
Also,
For
that
the aesthetic?
that universe is fucked. The one that Thanos came from. That universe is fucked. Considering, can you think about it from their perspective? One day, you're just living your normal life, and then you hear on the news that the Mad Titan Thanos just up and disappeared. Like that's a universe that's rid of the Mad Titan.
How are they fucked then?
They're well. They're fucked in the sense of if the rules that apply with the Infinity Stones apply to literally everything, that's a key part of their universe just gone, and the universe might
Oh
crumble.
yeah, it's not that Thanos disappeared; it's that they no longer have their Infinity Stones, so their universe technically is lacking the core
N-
ingredients to exist.
No, they get returned. That's what Cap does. It's the idea that maybe they are like the implication would be that a key part of the universe is just gone, and that it's just how is everybody supposed to get on with that? Considering, eh, and now I've lost
I
all
mean,
the
if
wording of that
Thanos is
sentence.
gone, right? Okay, in that universe, right? They just have this period where everything's going along normally. There's this brief period where all their Infinity Stones disappear. Thanos disappears. Stones come back. Thanos doesn't. Their universe will carry on without him until the next big villain turns up, I guess.
Right. I guess I'm treating the rule with the Infinity Stones for everything that is in the universe that's supposed to be a key part. So
Yeah, no, the Infinity Stones helped actually literally found the universe. They are part of
right.
creation.
Okay.
Thanos is not. Although I think in like comic lore, because he's a Titan, like there's other significance with that, but we don't get that in the movies.
Well, hold on. No, he's not a Titan of Greek mythology. He was born on the moon of Titan. That's why he's called the
Oh, I
Mad
thought
Titan.
like I knew he wasn't like a Greek Titan. I just thought like Titan was like no the Star Lord race, the whatever the fuck he is. I thought it was similar to that where they were like very important original beings or something. But if he's literally just a race from this planet, then yeah, nobody would care that he's gone.
Yeah. Uh, Also, I love how they were like, "This is your world." It was, and it was beautiful, and it showed all this stuff, and then Endgame rolls around, and it's like we're like 7 million light years from the nearest 7-Eleven. It's like you're you're at Titan. Point towards Earth and go. I know that would still take a while, but this is a spaceship that can like go through like jump points and stuff.
Yeah, we can jump through hexagons. We'll get there in no time.
Yeah, getting to Earth would be like pit stop considering oh god, Titan is Saturn's moon?
Oh, I don't think they mean like Earth, the Titan in our solar system. They mean the planet Titan, which is a fictional planet somewhere else in the
Then
galaxy,
I
like in
guess then
Guardians of the
that's
Galaxy territory.
oh,
It's not in our solar system. He's not that close.
I guess then they changed it then cuz straight up in the comics he was born on the moon of Titan and the moon of
Oh yeah,
Saturn.
no, they didn't do that. The
What
Guardians of the Galaxy
moon
universe is like on the opposite end of the
is
galaxy for us.
Titan? What planet's moon is Titan? It's Saturn. Yeah. It's Saturn's largest moon. So in the comics he's straight up like born in the Sol system.
Yeah, that's a very, very different thing from what we get in this
So
this
in
iteration.
Endgame where they're just like we're like 7,000 light years from the nearest 7-Eleven. It's like you're like a hop skipping away from Earth, buddy.
Yeah, not quite the hop skip that you thought, but with the travel amenities they have on that ship, yeah, it wouldn't take that long.
Mm-hmm. Let's see, and then after Avengers Endgame, we have uh, Spider-Man: Far From Home. Haven't seen it. I've heard
Yeah,
it's not that good.
It's not great.
yeah, it's in the shit pile for sure.
Uh,
Hmm.
all right. And now we are here with WandaVision. It's okay. I guess we're not done with
It
it.
has potential, but I'm not ready to commit to either side of that spectrum yet.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, we don't have enough to go off of.
So basically, what we were saying was that Moviebob is very inconsistent. I know, big shock. When he's like, there's like a no bad movies in the Marvel universe. Like half, like
Well, yeah, essentially what he's saying is everything is 5 out of 5 stars. Everything is a 10 out of 10. All they do is win, and it's like, well, clearly not.
I think the movies that we said were legit good can only be counted on two hands. And more than like 20 years worth of film was not 20, 10 years worth of film was made. 2 years, like 20 fucking films were made.
Or even just regardless of like where exactly he ranks them, the fact that he puts them all on the same tier is red flaggy enough.
Also, I forgot to just point this out. Uh, would anyone like to read this tweet from Moviebob. I saw this on Twitter and I just fucking uh I
Oh yeah, I saw this.
would anyone
Is it on screen?
Yes, it's in Discord. I can let me throw the banner up and I'll throw the tweet on screen too. Open
All
original.
right, let me know when it's up. Okay.
Hold on.
Get the fucking vaccines into the fucking arms. Vaccinate everyone. Lock the anti-vax psychos who don't take it and the MAGA super spreaders who made this bad in the first place all up as a health hazard. In some kind of camp and concentration, I assume. Let the rest of us who acted right have a goddamn world back. And yeah, this was prompted by the fact that movies are being delayed.
Yeah, I love.
Lock people up in huge camps because I don't get my superhero consumption.
Oh yeah, I love. I specifically grabbed this from Mahler's Twitter because this rant was prompted by some movies being delayed. Just a reminder, he takes issue with being called a consumer, or rather, the consumer.
Yeah, he has no room to argue with this shit.
Moviebob, Utism. Through the
And
banner
he
up.
just keeps doing it. He's the gift that keeps on giving, except every gift is this. But he likes WandaVision.
Jeez.
Eh.
Why did the press get like one extra episode? That was really weird. The more I think about that.
I mean, it's normal for press to get like advanced copy of a movie so that they have their review and
Yeah,
but like
I get that part, but
if they had the first 3 episodes released and they saw the first 3 episodes ahead of time, yeah, fairly normal. You release the 3 to critics and then only release 2 to the audience after the what's the term?
after
embargo?
the embargo's up.
That's the one. The embargo. When the embargo runs out, it's like, yeah, now everybody can see your review of the 3 movies that they have now also seen, or the 3 episodes they've also seen. For we get 2, they get this extra one, so the reviews are all weird and out of sync. It's really weird. It sounds like somebody fucked up.
And it kind of creates this like weird high horse thing, like we know something that you don't, because you just flat out hasn't been released to you yet, and it's like, oh, okay.
I mean, if that's the high horse somebody wants to be on, fucking let them have it. Their life is sad enough.
Easy coming up with 50 different ways to say here's another rock solid, completely good movie that won't really change your life or anything, but also has basically nothing wrong with it. So B plus, I guess, in B.
Has nothing wrong with it, so B plus.
So that's where he puts them. They all get a B plus. All of them.
Ew.
Between the occasional great ones of this, but yeah.
Hold on.
Hold on. Go
Yeah.
back.
B plus,
Go
I
back.
guess, in between the
So Thor
The
Ragnarok.
occasional great ones.
Thor Ragnarok, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, Black Panther, and Marvel's Avengers. So, Avengers, great. Ragnarok, meh. Volume 2, good. Black Panther, ugh.
Yeah, I think we put Ragnarok in the shit pile, but it wasn't as strongly shit as a bunch of the other ones in there. Panther, that's strong in the shit pile. Galaxy 2, we put that in the good pile, but not on the same tier. So
Yeah.
he's picking from like the middle to the bad with one that we agree is good.
I mean, 1 out of 4 is pretty good odds, right, guys?
It's still
No.
a failing grade, motherfucker.
No, yeah, that's failing grade. Oh, God. I just see Black Panther, and so many people call it great when it's like, this is a fucking shit tier movie.
It's like they're in love with what it represents. It's like, oh yeah, the black empowerment superhero. Fuck yeah, but like, the movie is shit though. Couldn't you have had that in a movie that was good?
I fucking love how they like to shit on Blade, just in general. how it's the first R-rated superhero movie. When they were talking about Deadpool, it's like Blade. It's the first
Yeah.
Marvel movie to have a black guy. Blade.
And it was alright. It's like people keep forgetting that movie exists, or they keep forgetting to count it as a superhero movie. I guess.
3 of them exist.
Yeah.
Oh
and-
yeah, the
and
second one is hilarious.
I thought the second one was actually good, and because I
It
haven't.
is.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun, but ooh boy.
The first two are pretty good. The third one is where most people say it loses its mind.
Is that the one with the nightclub with like the water sprinklers of blood?
No, that was the first one.
That's well, there was that in the first one, and then there was some of that in the second one as well.
Oh,
And then there's the third one is the one with
Ryan Reynolds.
Jessica Biel and Ryan Reynolds.
And how she fights vampires while listening to music. Because, sound isn't fucking important.
Yeah, being able to hear your opponent is never important as having a fucking bopping soundtrack.
Exactly. Now you're getting it.
Occasional great ones of this, but yeah, shockingly, when you let a really sharp producer fire the biggest possible gun at the widest possible target, it's not really that surprising that they almost never miss. Anyway, what's...
No, that's how you miss
can
a
still
lot of
have shit
people.
aim, like-
Just look at stuff like Mulan, where they tried to appeal to both Chinese and Western audiences at the same fucking time.
And it appealed
And
to
they
neither.
used big money to make that one. That was a
Yeah.
huge budget production, and yeah, they missed the fucking target, no matter how big it was, because what they fired was in the wrong direction.
Hold on,
And
they didn't
also
just
by
miss
an
the
idiot.
target. They were at the range, they turned around, and they shot the person behind them.
They did that thing where there's a scope in the gun, and they didn't brace it against their shoulder, so their scope takes off half their fucking face.
amusing
What
is
movie
that
was that
the
in,
surprise...
actually?
What?
I've seen that before. This thing where, you have a sniper rifle, but you don't brace it against your shoulder, so when you fire it, the recoil piles the scope into your face. I've seen that in a movie before, but I can't remember which one.
Okay. I've seen gun range fails.
Marvel Studios.
It's yeah. What are we talking about? Marvel?
Look, I was thinking, you didn't ask for this. You didn't want this. Then suddenly, you're a Nazi.
You're Disnoid. And suddenly, you're a Marvel Studios.
Disnoid shit.
Surprise, the MCU returns without missing a step narrative, inevitably spinning out of WandaVision, is that at least this time, the seemingly untouchable production house almost seems to have been struck by an uncanny confluence of extra luck, like they needed that. Originally, this offbeat limited series, the first in what's already been touted as a deluge of Marvel content hitting...
You know what? I will actually give him props. Deluge is exactly the right word.
Okay,
But I don't think it means what he
almost-
thinks it means.
Almost none of that looks any good.
Yeah,
so
no, it does not.
that's gonna be shit. Here's the
Moon
thing.
Knight? Hold
Moon
on,
Knight-
isn't he one of those characters who's actually occasionally funny?
Hold
and a
on,
good time?
I was going to say Moon Knight has a shit ton of potential, but they need to make him actually crazy. They cannot. Because he worships like some fucking moon god. Like, he's a fucking crazy person. So just
Yeah,
play
he's-
on
he's-
that.
The whole thing is he's mentally unstable.
And I don't think they're going to be able to get that while also trying to be culturally sensitive.
I don't.
Yeah, no,
yeah.
he's not a PC hero at all.
I'm gonna be weird on this one. Just make this a lawyer show. I know she's got superpowers, but we almost never acknowledge She-Hulk is like as powerful as the Hulk. She's a fucking lawyer. Just have
She's
her.
a-
And her big
she's a
thing is that
thick-ass
she retains
waifu.
her. Yeah, she retains her intelligence when she hulks out, so why would she ever go back to normal? Just
Well-
be like the
Well, in a
muscle
lot of the
Hulk.
comics, she doesn't.
Yeah, she can't.
She spends a lot of time in the She-Hulk form, and that's fine.
Yeah, and she goes to
But-
court in that form.
Swole as fuck.
So like
Nice.
that's why I'm just saying I just make it Law and Order. Fuck it, just have She-Hulk delivering court cases. I don't
Well, like
care
the
if that sounds
situational
goofy.
comedy where you have this ridiculously swole lawyer. I'd watch that. That sounds like it's going to be hilarious.
All the horny subs in the room just going like,
Oh god.
it's like
Dude,
So-
the entire Twitter thread on every fucking ad or trailer.
You
post is
step on
just
me.
Step on me, spit in my mouth, mommy.
The only thing that I think might be interesting is supposedly in Shang-Chi, we're finally going to get the Mandarin.
yes,
The real one with like the magical rings and shit.
Uh-huh.
yeah.
Well, that's why it's called The Legend of the Ten Rings.
And plus it's gonna be a legit kung fu movie, as opposed to some people for some reason say that Doctor Strange is like a kung fu movie, and it's like they have like one
What?
fight scene in like a monastery, so it's like, and
Yeah, those people you need to just be worried about. Keep an eye on them. They're not right.
Oh God, Captain
Okay,
Marvel
right.
2.
Oh, I almost can't wait. It's gonna be hilarious.
Eternals. Yes, because if there's one thing I want to see a Hawkeye show.
They didn't even uppercase his name in the title. That's how unimportant he is.
You want to talk about, like, I know it's a joke, the running joke that, like, Hawkeye and Black Widow aren't useful to the team, but they're not. They're normal people. One of them has a bow and arrow, and the other one just has guns.
Now, for like some of it, they use Black Widow as a spy, so they're actually using the
Yes,
ability she does have, and
when
that's
they
neat.
when they
But
use
then she's
her,
with them in the lineup too.
yeah, if they just use her for, like, as sabotage tactics, then yeah, that could work. But she's in the middle of a battlefield with, like, the fucking Avengers.
Yeah,
and holding her own.
it's much more interesting when they use like Hawkeye and Black Widow in like all the Shield stuff.
Yeah,
Because they're essentially like top tier agents of Shield. Fine, I can. That's okay. Like that makes more sense for their characters.
But nope, they're Avengers.
They're
in the club.
Avengers because reasons. What the fuck is Armor Wars?
that's probably just gonna be Iron Man armors fighting each other.
What, just
No,
Rock'em Sock'em Robots the show?
That's gonna be Ironheart, dude. Ironheart is gonna piss off so many people.
Ironheart did not start on the right foot.
It really didn't.
Ironheart
What
could have
is it?
been so. Ironheart is basically this this teenage girl who just builds an Iron Man suit, and like she just does Iron Man stuff.
Yeah, she does Iron Man stuff, but better than Tony Stark, and at a younger age. She's 15 when she built her first Iron Man suit.
And she's
So
black.
basically, that whole thing from the start of Iron Man 1 where we see him as like, he was a prodigy child, he's always very academic. We see him with like the science awards when he was a teenager in order to establish that as an adult who's been building weapons for many years and is a professional, he can make a very rudimentary Iron Man suit in a cave. And now she's just like, oh no, yeah, I got an app for that. Nice.
Yeah, pretty
That's gonna be
much.
so good. Everyone's gonna love
I'm Ironheart, and you got to deal with it.
it.
Yeah, and she's culturally diverse because she's a
Oh, does
black
she have the
woman.
look? Does she have the shaved
find-
sides of the head?
Hold on. Let me
She
throw up the
might
banner.
actually have that hairdo at some point.
Let me
Oh,
throw up
she's
the
gotta.
banner on the live stream. Hey,
I mean, are you even really diverse if you have hair on the sides of your head?
Darth Hedgehog, just stare at the audience for a good minute while I pull this up.
You don't have to have the
Iron-
characters overlaid on screen all the time.
No, he is the watchful guardian.
Oh my god, she kind of does.
Hold on,
Called it.
hold on. Ironheart images. Oh yeah! Oh, she kind of does. That's amazing. That's hilarious.
If anybody doesn't know what I'm on about, by the way, it's just whenever they have the diverse character now, it's just very funny to me that the diverse character introduction, they have a very specific look, and it's basically this. You've got this thin woman with like the shaved sides of the hair and like hair off the top of the head, and she's dark but not too dark, and it's like you see that exact same description every single time, and it's just getting to the point of hilarious. And it's not even that there's anything wrong with the look itself, it's perfectly fine. It's just that they all look like this and they're all being introduced for the same reason. It's very
yeah, that's
cynical
what
and
Ironheart
obvious.
looks like, audience members. That's what she fucking looks like. It's shit. She's
Actually,
shit.
I'm gonna post an image in the chat that will explain better the look I'm on about. I
Yeah.
posted it before, but just to have the context. Let me find it. Here it is.
As I see Eerie hissing.
There, that's the image. And now just add her onto that image as well, and you've got your thing.
Okay, let me pull the banner back off. Yeah, that's what that looks like. So we got Lady from Star Trek fucking Below Decks or whatever the fuck it's called. We got what's her face from Star Wars: The Clone Wars. We got this picture from like an
Some
ad.
random clip art.
We got somebody from a comic book. Magic the Gathering?
I actually don't know what that one is.
Yeah, that's magic.
But she looks like she has a goatee.
That's a man.
Are we sure?
No.
uh,
How dare you gender them?
we got some character from the Green Lantern Corps. We got Maure Sue from fucking Star Trek Discovery, and we got probably somebody else from fucking Star Wars.
Yeah, one of the main people from the High Republic.
The High Republic. Oh god.
Mhm.
Let me throw the banner back up and
But this is the new, diversity
Yeah. So
look.
this look is the new kind of like generic brown-haired white guy in his 30s. It's like this is just going to be the thing now. And again, it's not even that it's a problem in and of itself. It's just amusing that they all look the same.
Well, because these corporations don't know how to actually think for themselves. So if they see one person do it and get away with it, and like, nobody gave them a bunch of shit about this particular image, we'll just copy
Oh,
that
yeah.
image.
Or they
Secret-
made their character look like this, and everybody stopped whinging at them about like diversity. So cool. Now we're gonna do that. Look, we're diverse. We have the diverse character. Please, shut up. It's just another tokenism.
they cannot do Secret Invasion considering they made the Skrulls good guys.
They can still do it. It's like this is just another faction of scrolls, and these ones are spooky.
Oh god, Miss Marvel. Ugh.
I know nothing about it.
Well, we've all played the Avengers game. Except it was only me
I
and
have not.
Ninja that played it. Yeah, Kamala Khan.
Wait, is she that main character who's like a fangirl for the Avengers? So then they let her become an Avenger, and it's like literally a self-insert bullshit.
Yep.
Or is that someone else? Oh, nailed it.
But hey, guys, she's Pakistani, so shut the fuck up.
Does she also have the look?
No.
No, not quite.
Oh,
No, but she doesn't wear her.
This was pre the look.
it was still in its early stages.
Yeah.
They still
don't-
had hair on the sides of their
She's
heads. It was too.
let's see if Miss Marvel wears her hijab. That was awful. Ms. Marvel.
Does she fly?
No. She basically her
Okay, yeah,
ability
then fine.
her ability is polymorph. She basically Mr. Fantastic, but it's like every cell of her body. She's like Plastic Man.
okay.
No, Kamala Khan normally has maintained the same look, which is just longish hair. I'm looking
okay.
right now. All right.
But yeah, her look was never the issue. It's the whole self-insert thing.
The only movie I'm looking forward to, because to me, Endgame was the last fucking movie.
Yeah, I think that's probably the only one there that we would really count as like the first in the next era of them, because WandaVision, the shows are always like the in-betweeny shit. So maybe they'll
sorry.
set up something for the movies, but
Oh,
they won't actually.
Hold on, the audience can see my cursor. We're talking about Doctor Strange and Multiverse of Madness. That's the only one we're looking forward to.
Yeah.
I'd look forward to Guardians 3 if they unfired James Gunn.
I mean, I also look forward to Marvel 2 for very different reasons.
What If could be interesting, but
What is it?
It's What If. So it's what if Peggy Carter became Captain Britain, or what if Marvel Zombies.
So basically, that's just the trial show where they spitball at the audience to see what could potentially have money making.
I guess. Hey, Black Widow. No, not
Wasn't
gonna
she
watch it.
supposed to get a movie like 5 years ago?
You know how she made a movie and it just hasn't been released?
Are they still like trying to work on it to like get it good, or are they just holding on to it?
They're holding on to it because they refuse to just release it on streaming like how Wonder Woman did.
I mean, after how Wonder Woman performed, I can kind of get their nerves.
I mean, that movie was shit regardless.
Oh yeah, but they won't really read it as being about quality because they only understand it as a marketing thing.
Yep.
So they'll just say, "Oh, that performed badly, so we're not going to do the same thing."
So Falcon Winter Soldier. Winter Soldier has enough personality. Falcon has none.
I mean, okay, they could potentially use this movie to give him some, so they have like that much wiggle room, but I'm not optimistic.
Loki. I'm meh.
I'm kind of pissed that they're bringing him back at all, but like the character's fun to watch, I suppose. It depends what they do.
Okay, I'm gonna hit the button now.
Disney Plus in the coming months was meant to premiere after a set of several Phase 4 theatrical films had already brought the cinematic universe back to, well, cinemas. But now, owing to the schedule-obliterating pandemic, it's ended up as the de facto jumping-on point for the whole new Marvel movie era, reframing Disney Plus as the narrative-side foundation of the MCU continuum, which certainly has to make investors happy over at the Mouse House, but also to an almost preposterously well-aligned degree coalescing with the very unusual setup for the production itself, as audiences taking the somewhat unprecedented step of following a pair of superhero characters they last saw featured in two of the biggest Hollywood blockbusters of all time about to suddenly appear in a quirky half-hour TV show, which turns out to be about a pair of superheroes suddenly appearing in a quirky half-hour TV show. Or maybe
That's not it at all. Like,
Yeah, no,
that's the part of the mystery.
premise, but like what the actual story is literally not that. That's the backdrop that gets broken by the story happening. So like
Mhm.
the whole quirky TV show, that was what we now understand to be Wanda's fantasy for some reason. Maybe she was just super into Bewitched. I would get it. It's her thing. But yeah, that the story is that being broken and that not working and everything unraveling. So yeah, no.
it's not. Except it definitely is, or isn't. Like I said, no spoilers here, and I also sincerely
So basically
couldn't tell
it isn't, but you don't really want to divulge details. You could have just said that.
Fucking dick.
you. Let's back up. The central gimmick of WandaVision, at least as of, again, the first 3 episodes they let critics see ahead of the premiere, is placing Elizabeth Olsen's Wanda Maximoff, aka Scarlet Witch, and Paul Bettany's Vision, the star-crossed couple from the Avengers movies, both last
Star-crossed lovers. Jesus Christ.
Also,
That
I don't
is
think that
certainly not how I would describe them.
I would describe them as
I
boring
mean-
as all hell and cringe.
I mean, Starcrossed kind of implies a lot of things. You're basically just making a Romeo and Juliet reference where they're like destined for each other but also doomed, which technically applies, but we're really not given any kind of setup for it, so the payoff means nothing.
seen in Infinity War and Endgame, wherein he got killed and she was not in a good place about it, into the world of a
Not in a good place about it. She died 5 minutes later.
Yeah, she got dusted.
Yeah, she
bro.
didn't really have time to be sad or anything.
She
It's like
yeah,
she
and then
saw
when
him
she
die, got dusted, and then came back, and Vision was also back, wasn't he?
no,
Did he come back?
no, he didn't.
Yeah, so he's still dead when she comes back. So is this just she comes back, Endgame ends, and now she's like spiraling to
In
psycho witch
craziness.
depression?
Yeah, that's why
Yeah.
that's why the line is so hilarious. You took everything from me. I don't even know who you are.
Yeah,
It's because this
there's a reason
Thanos.
that became such
This
a meme.
this is like not the same Thanos. So he's just like I just
even
don't.
regular
Even,
Thanos wouldn't know who the fuck she is. It was
Yeah, that's why
Ultron that
it's so
was
funny.
using the twins for his own evil plans.
right. Well, the thing is, like, the at least Thanos like was like, I understand why you're sad, but this needs to be done. Like he comforts her for a split second, then brings Vision back to then rip out the stone. Oh shit.
vintage American TV sitcom generously inspired by the likes of Bewitched and I Dream of Jeannie, wherein they themselves are a newlywed couple living in an idyllic small-town cul-de-sac having a lightly comic misadventures attempting to fit in while keeping their respective secrets, i.e. she's some kind of witch and he's a robot, from their neighbors. Each episode is structured as a complete
From dead neighbors. You know you can talk like a normal human being with your accent. He's definitely playing it up by this point.
Or he's just slurring his words, and he's doing the thing where he's chopping his speech so everything goes into one another. So it just any problems you have with the accent just get worse.
Well, I think part of the problem is that the Boston accent is it's hard to understand on its own, but then he does the thing where he talks really fast and slams all his words together, and that just makes it fucking impossible.
But here's the thing, we can understand like people like Bill Burr. Bill Burr's from Boston.
Yeah, but he
Not
also
everybody
doesn't
has
edit
the
himself.
same. Yeah, not everyone has the same accent. Fun fact, though, if you ever really are interested, there is an example of the Boston accent combined with that Southern accent you love so much. Look up accents from Maine.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's fun.
All right.
Episode of the imaginary retro sitcom with full A plots and B plots, presumed running gags, catchphrases, etc., but progressing forward to a different stylistic era with each new episode. The first being an early TV Ozzie and Harriet-esque 50s affair, complete with deliberately fake effects, staging, blocking and shooting, extra long stationary camera takes, and in black and white. The second being literally a beat-for-beat recreation of the early 60s Bewitched aesthetic, while the third is still basically Bewitched or Genie, but the later 60s one with the mod fashions, color cinematography, and slightly more playful innuendo in the dialogue. And if this
So basically
Wow.
what you wanted episode 2 to be was they, instead of doing the 50s Bewitched, they did the 60s Bewitched and just moved that along a little bit faster.
Yeah. Because yes, I know.
So hey, that's to look forward to, I guess.
I guess, but at the same time, thanks, Bob. Like that still kind of counts as a fucking spoiler, dick.
I mean, we knew that was happening. I just don't care. But I'm more concerned with, like, okay, so they're doing Bewitched twice. That feels lazy. Like, they have a lot more to work with than that.
Yeah, with only 9 episodes, like if you're really wanting to
Hmm.
move along with each iteration, they should have moved to a new show for the 3rd episode.
Yeah, they would have
Yeah,
moved
just
on to
do
Brady
another one
Bunch.
from this. Or they could have done like the Addams Family thing, because that came out in the 60s. And just have like a different, like, spookier aesthetic as things are getting more ooky.
When did the
in,
Brady
like,
Bunch
the
come
Wonder
out?
World. I don't know, never watched it.
Brady Bunch. Oh, 70s. All right, we've got one more episode before they would do that.
And she does mysteriously get like very pregnant almost instantly at the end of episode 2, so that's also a thing. I'm guessing that's gonna.
Yeah,
Are they gonna suddenly have like 6 kids in episode 4, and that's how they do the Brady Bunch?
Well,
No idea.
the funniest thing is, in Bewitched, they did have a kid, and instead of naturally doing the wiggle nose thing, she had to grab her nose to do it, like the little baby. I like Bewitched.
Well,
already
yeah, but at least
sounds
in Bewitched, it kind of makes sense because it's a dude and a genie. This
That's-
is a chick and a robot.
Hold on, so that's I Dream of Genie. Bewitched is a witch.
Either way, the point still
Do
stands.
they have kids in I Dream of Genie?
The idea of the guy impregnating the girl makes sense.
Yes.
This doesn't.
But I mean, in
It's
this
more-
context, we know that it's Wanda just making things happen. It's like she wanted to make the simulation more real because she was losing her grip, so now she's like, she's doing the really fucking toxic thing of, oh no, my relationship is failing, better have a kid.
Ugh.
more
Mhm.
odd than you thought versus the slightly more bombastic advertising. It's also all in media res, where dropped into this with zero indication as to why 2 of the Avengers
Hold
are
on,
now.
he's using that term wrong.
Media
In
res.
medias res, you start in the middle and then you build up. So any movie where it starts in like the middle of the action and then after that initial scene we cut back and here's how we got there, and then they tell it chronologically, that's in medias res. This is just, we start off at a point in the story where things are already taking place and we move chronologically forward.
Yeah, I don't know what it's called, but the ball is already rolling, basically.
Yeah, and that's not in medias res. That's just kind of a good way to start telling a story, is as like things are already happening. You start where the story actually gets interesting,
Mm-hmm.
which is what you always should do without like cutting out of the important things. And for mystery, you've got even more wiggle room because the less you know going in, the more room you have. So everything from the start of episode 1 is just setting things up. So
Mhm.
yeah, no, just wrong use of the term, I guess.
now starring in what otherwise looks like an actual TV show from 70 years ago. And while Vision and Wanda are generally aware of the character details about themselves, like he's a robot, she's a witch from Sokovia, for whatever reason people can't know about at least those two first things, like
It's the 50s! Well, in the first episode, they literally say we don't break bread with Bolsheviks because Sokovia happens to sound like Russian.
Because
It's
it
Eastern
is,
European.
It's a Soviet bloc. Yeah, which all of Eastern Europe was eaten by
Yes.
the Soviet Union.
Yes,
That's how it worked.
yeah, I know. I'm just saying, like, and she's a witch from Sokovia. It's like, and that's not acceptable. It's like, yeah, it's not acceptable. Well, not the norm because oh my god.
Also, he can fly and a bunch of other shit, and she can do magic. Like, and because it's her fantasy, and it's because what she deliberately created, she created the premise as well. Because that's the fantasy what she wanted to live, like this quirky, fun little double life
Well,
drama.
at the same time, I do question, like, all right, Scarlet Witch, you've had a very traumatized life. Like, you fucking watched your parents die via, like, Stark bombs. You fucking sign up for Hydra to be experimented on. You gain superpowers. You fight the Avengers with a robot. You switch sides. Your brother dies. You fight your friends. Go into hiding. You die. Then you come back, and then everything's still shit. Why? What
So
makes
you do this.
So what? No.
And I
What?
just love the
What leads
implication
to
as well that
what leads to the idea of like? So I shall now recreate the honeymooners. It's like,
well, that's the thing. I just love the implication that her safe place, her comforting fantasy, is just that before Stark Industries bombs fell on her mom and dad, she was watching a lot of Bewitched and that kind of show
What?
in Eastern Europe. Did Eastern European TV have a lot of that on?
doo 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 doo, and then the Soviet side. Oh, jeez.
like their neighbors or any other good sitcom character, they don't seem to know or care to know anything about where they came from, how they got there, where,
That's bullshit.
when, or
The
why.
entire first episode,
This whole
Vision goes
scene
around
right here.
questioning everything. He's at work, and he's like, they do that normal sitcom thing where you don't actually get any specific details as to what the husband's job actually is.
And what do we do
But
here?
yeah, he's like actually fucking questioning people. He's like, okay, what do we actually produce? And everyone's giving him like funny, like corporate humor answers. Oh yeah, we make productivity. We fill out these forms to like drive up our input. It's like it's all jargon, and he's not actually getting a straight answer. It's played for a joke, but
Mhm.
it does show that he's actively questioning this shit, which is an absolute contradiction from what he's setting it up as, which is weird. Was he just not paying attention?
Shit.
I mean,
And
it's
they
Bob, so probably.
don't know why they don't know, or that they should know, and when moments arise in a slip of dialogue between the margins of what are otherwise straightforwardly presented sitcom hijinks plots, about like putting on a talent show, or Vision's boss coming over for dinner, or in the details of the ominous fake commercials that run intermittently throughout the episodes, that do make acknowledging the unreality of everything unavoidable, things start to get subtly but unmistakably tense and unsettling, as though there's something or someone in the ether that the other characters or the world itself around them is afraid of, that everything is trying not
Yeah.
to.
Yeah, because if my theory holds right, that's because they'll cease to exist.
Well, also, it's just we actually get it in straight up dialogue. It's like the bitchy super housewife of the neighborhood who runs everything. She's talking to Wanda, and Wanda's just like trying to make up for the fact she doesn't think she made a good impression. Ooh, it's like she comes up, it's like I'm not here. It's like I don't mean anyone any harm, and that's when it breaks because that other character just goes like, I don't believe you, and that's when everything gets silent. The camera starts zooming in slowly,
And then the
waves goes all
radio.
weird.
Yeah.
And then she like actually cuts herself on the glass, and like you've got the splash of red blood. It's like the color being introduced is like that's the crack in the simulation. So it's very clear about what is happening
either
if
she
you're paying
has
attention.
either she has full control of what's going on or she doesn't. That's
Well, no, I think she made it, but she is very gradually losing control.
Yeah.
I think that's what they're going for.
Provoke. But then something always happens to set things back in place for the next episode. So far, it's a difficult vibe
Which is
to
her
actually
regaining
describe.
Go ahead.
No, it just says like, and then everything is fixed. The way like those sitcom episodes would always wrap up neatly.
It's like a
so that they
reset
could
button
have
was
the status
hit.
quo. Yeah, and that's her getting her control back.
Yeah, it specifically shows this when they see the beekeeper man. She specifically just goes, no, and then the whole thing rewinds.
Yeah. And that's the most blatant one. And it just kind of follows on from like the dinner scene where Vision and Wanda just they can't actually answer any questions about they're trying to, but they can't get an answer. It's like, where did we move here from? When did we get married? And then the NPCs they kind of glitch and freeze for a little bit because they just get into this loop. And then one of them just goes, no, let them get their story straight, as if that's like a completely natural, normal thing to say or think.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's the simulation sort of like bending and creaking.
See, the
under
weird
Wanda's
thing is,
control.
like, from a
Ah.
theory crafting standpoint, the only thing that I could think of is very, very dark. And I don't think
Which
Disney's
is?
going to go there. Like, I think this is her post-Vision death. I
Mhm.
think she's doing this to reconnect with the Vision.
Yeah.
Although, in theory, you know, in her powers in the comics would actually allow her to basically bring Vision back from the dead.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, my theory is pretty much that she's
Would
snapped.
they though? Because he wasn't, as far as her powers are concerned, is he even technically alive? How does that work in the comics?
she literally has reality warping powers.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's like I said yesterday. It's like she basically is a better reality stone.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
It started out with this thing about like hex and luck manipulation and things like that, but then over time it kind of evolved into just reality itself.
Especially because I'm leaving out quite a bit to avoid the spoiler. It almost feels like a PG-rated TV show version of a
Bob, here's the thing. You didn't avoid the spoiler.
Yeah, basically, we're just going into more specific details, but the overarching plot is like he's giving it away as much as we are. It's like, this is just what happens. This is what the story is.
Pretty much.
liminal space creepypasta or those gifs that look banal until a ghost jumps out. A lot of evocation of the hyper-real. And that's not to say you'll be shocked. I realize that this largely comedic TV show from Disney, spun off from the costumed adventure movies for 10-year-olds, appears to be leaning into some fully abstracted Maya Deren or Matthew Barney piece. Snippet.
For a guy that's really pissed off about a bunch of movies getting delayed, that sounded really fucking aggressive.
Oh yeah, but he's just kind of like doubling down against himself. It's like, oh yeah, these are like comic book movies for 10-year-olds, but also we should institute concentration camps because I need to be able to see them sooner.
That was really weird. Like, that whole sentence, like, he's like, it's for 10-year-olds, so why are we getting, like, this abstract horror? And it's like, so one, Avengers was not made for 10-year-olds. Avengers was, like, PG-13.
It's a TV show about woman wizards for children.
Bits of dialogue spoken out of turn by characters in the midst of brief anxiety spells and sinister voyeuristic imagery that bookends each episode points to a definitive something in the something fishy going on part of the story. However cleverly it's at once acknowledged and obfuscated by various Marvel Comics and MCU references peppered throughout the stunningly detailed production design and costume work, it's clear there will ultimately be an
I think that's the first thing
answer
we
and it will
fully agree on. It is stunningly detailed in all the shit they do.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
will almost certainly be more 2010 than 2001. However much
2010 is whatever the fuck, I don't remember what its subtitle was, is a fucking great film. It's not as great as 2001, but like, how can you live up to a film that, while objectively great, is also boring as hell?
Yeah, I kind of
do
think
not find that movie
2001 is
boring.
shit. Not a fan. It's kind of shit.
I like it.
I like the stuff with Hal, but everything else I'm bored out of my fucking mind.
I mean, some of the shots do linger on for a fucking while, and sometimes it's to the benefit. Like when you see him, like he's just out in space, and it's making you more uncomfortable with that fucking breathing thing. But then you've got the other things where like the music cues with the pillars. It's like we got it in the first 10 seconds, Stanley. We understand it. You can move
Mm-hmm.
on to the next shot now.
The caliber of the darkness under the topsoil of suburbia and inherent spookiness of banal Americana aesthetic pushes WandaVision in the direction of becoming something like baby's first David Lynch. And just so I'm clear, though, one...
Fuck off.
Wouldn't Twin Peaks be that instead?
You want to experience David Lynch? Yeah, watch Twin Peaks. It's fucking amazing.
does not in this case invoke either the specter or director of Twin Peaks and Blue Velvet lightly. Every work of dark Americana has bitten off Lynch's oeuvre in some fashion, yes, but somehow it's hilariously appropriate that a Marvel Disney production of all things turns out to be one of the few to attempt such and actually grasp the real energy. Certainly not in content or tone, but in approach. Lynch's autopsies of false societal nicety are authentically grim because they're informed by sincere affection for the ideals that are revealed to be false, not just menace but tragedy. He doesn't seem at all happy to be blowing the lid off cute small towns or happy neighborhoods being corrupt and evil, and yeah, absurd as it is.
I feel like we're
What
not
the
talking because we're
fuck?
just waiting for him to finish this sentence.
Because
Just
it's
keep going.
Yeah, I was going to say, where was the end point? I got lost. I'm not gonna lie, I just got fucking lost.
Basically, he's talking about like the way those directors do this, and the way like WandaVision kind of captures the same energy while also being different. That's basically it.
Feels to suggest WandaVision has some of that same energy. Not just in the general 50s kitsch gradually becoming more sinister aesthetic, but in the sense that it's very pointedly not here to parody or comment on old-time sitcoms. It's here to be one, to the point where the creepy stuff always seems to kick in whenever someone or circumstance is trying to make it be anything else. We're not, at least yet, doing the Pleasantville angle where the innate unrealness of retro TV is used as a metaphor for the real-world failings of the era that were being papered over or otherwise ignored in reality or on the show.
I mean, they kind of do that with the whole McCarthyism thing. And I'm trying to think, they don't really do any of the sexual repression stuff, which was mainly, that was Pleasantville's angle. They leant hard on that because it was a very tangible thing that you could grasp, and by focusing on it, they made the whole thing stronger. This, they're not really doing that kind of deconstruction.
Mm-hmm.
And it's weird that he's making it sound like they are, but differently, and it's just a different thing. I think he started off sort of okay, just because like he's talking, he's like, oh yeah, they kind of borrow the same energy as this. They're doing some of the same things where you have like the ideal suburbia, but ooh, it's not all it seems. But the deconstruction angle doesn't work unless there's some serious shit in episode 3. Who knows?
Bob knows. Just believe Bob.
In Bob we trust.
Oh God, no.
Whatever dark reality we and possibly the characters are being misdirected from, said misdirection seems to rely on the actual intended purpose of the sitcoms WandaVision emulates so exactingly, to be cozy, familiar, engaging, but unchallenging comfort food, presenting better than reality but not by too much escapism. So its recreations of 50s and 60s TV are not only magically wiped of the real thing's casual racism and misogyny, but also of any wink.
Whoa!
I mean, yeah, because you didn't really show the bad sides of reality in your idyllic neighborhood TV show.
Yeah, you
Like,
just kind of
yeah.
that, or you make like a passive aggressive remark to it. Like, does your husband hate it when you burn his toast?
Yeah. I mean, they do have like little callbacks to the fact, oh yeah, that time was very different, but they don't do it for race at all, which I think is just the smarter move. Like, there's some black people around, they're fine, like everybody's fine with it. They don't make a thing of it. Cool.
That's how it
that's-
went. That's just how,
Yeah,
like,
you love to
'cause
see it.
that's because that's how TV worked back then. And you couldn't, like, here's the thing. Like, a good example of this, like, I'm gonna go on a bit of a tangent. with how cowboys were shown in this era of television and movies, you couldn't show drinking, racism, and really that much violence when it came to the Old West. So when Blazing Saddles came out, they took the idealistic cowboy and they threw that out and showed a real version of the West. With the racism, with the violence.
And it was hilarious.
Yeah, it was fucking hilarious. That's why, like, here's the thing. People say you can't make Blazing Saddles today, and they're saying it because, like, oh, it's because it's racist. No, you can't make Blazing Saddles today because it's the norm now. We actually show the West as the West. So when it comes to, if we were to show how, so if we were to, we can't recreate, like, these types of TV shows and, like, have it be, like, real life, because guess what? The fucking civil rights movement was happening. Fucker.
21st century acknowledgement of what that would have meant in the real thing, and as a result, these are actually really good, straightforward situation comedy episodes, as in taken separately from the ever-hovering
Please just say
presence of
sitcom like a normal human.
What did he say?
He says situational comedy. He says the full thing every
Oh
time.
God,
because
sitcom,
that's-
you fucking idiot.
But
Jesus.
it's just the Bob thing where he has to like have as many words as possible in his script. So
With
he'll
it-
expand out abbreviations too.
But only like half the fucking syllables sometimes.
something else is going on, and the other details and occurrences that are spoilers I won't get into, what they've created actually works just as deadpan, non-satirical, real-deal retro comedy episodes with contained storylines, character beats, etc. that completely hold up on their own. Olsen and Bettany as this Darren and Samantha version of Wanda and Vision are legit great comedy team. They play off each other with fantastic chemistry, even better than they did in the movies. The writing is cute and clever. They're
Even better than they did in the movies. I think
had-
we mean like
Yeah, because guess what? 0 plus 1, guess what, is 1.
yeah, they do it where they didn't do it in the movies, and yeah, that is a good thing. But it's a weird comparison to make. It's like, oh, this was even better than when they didn't do it at all. I mean, yeah, I guess.
It's like when you look at an empty glass of water and you suddenly pour water into it. And it's like, oh, there was something here where there was nothing. That's what that fucking is.
You're just basically giving them kudos for doing something that they should have been doing anyway.
Yeah.
Yep.
There's actual comic tension in the wacky misunderstanding plots. They truly accomplish the genuine, this is
I
a
do
safe
not like
and
that
happy
image.
place.
Ugh.
It-
Also, I just thought about it, and the whole Hulk and Black Widow thing that never really panned out
I
had
hated
more
that.
setup and foreshadowing than anything with Vision and Wanda.
I'm not gonna say I hated that just because Betty is the real love interest of Bruce Banner. No, you could have a thing where Black Widow and Bruce Banner are like kind of having a thing. The problem is they don't do anything with it.
Well, but that's because it was clear Ross wanted to it, and the other directors didn't.
Mm-hmm. And also, this is just an interpretation of that scene in Hawkeye's farmhouse where they're having like the conversation on like how they both can't have kids. That would have been a moment where I guess they kind of would have. That's the moment where they would have just kind of flung themselves at each other, I guess, because that's kind of like how the drama would have built up, and then that's the crescendo of that. Like if we're gonna give like The Last of Us 2 shit for doing that, like having this dramatic moment, then out of nowhere sex scene, and would have fit just as well there, and would have made it just as
But
bad. I know
that's why they didn't do it, because that would have been bad.
yeah, they're both, but it's already a bad film. Just commit to it.
No.
full of fun people I want to wrap myself up in like a security blanket purpose of a classic family sitcom, which is why the so far fairly minor, until it's suddenly not minor, intrusions by whatever else is going on here into that space are so damn effective and unsettling. Instead of arriving like catharsis and an oh good, I was getting tired of all this Squaresville stuff kind of way, I found myself
I
reacting
mean, isn't that literally Ninja's interpretation of watching it?
I was getting tired of all this Squaresville nonsense.
Yeah, basically, it's like, oh, I was getting tired of all this Bewitched shit. Finally, we're getting to the actual plot. It's like that's how
Fair
we
enough.
watched it, isn't it? Is that accurate?
Do people actually think Moviebob is smart?
No. Well, I hope...
Apparently, he does have a fan base.
Hold
so-
on. I'm going to see how much he makes on Patreon.
Shut the fuck
really
up. I
good.
don't need that level of sadness in my life right now.
Yeah, no. Also, it doesn't really tell us anything.
I just,
with the same
I
visceral
guarantee there are people that watch this shit and think that he's smart.
Or like he gives good, in-depth, thoughtful reviews that are good representation of what he's talking about.
Yeah, and it's just like, oh god, no, please.
You kind of just heard this, my soul just leave me as I see the results. Oh, okay. I'm gonna hit play before I just get sad and kill myself.
anxiety is the characters, like, no, bad, scary, put Nick at Night back on. And so as I see it, yeah, that aspect of this whole thing is more...
I guess, like he was saying, when the plot came in, he's like, no, it's scary. Turn the honeymooners back on.
I think he's more interested in that aspect of the show than the tie-in with all the Marvel stuff is the point. But I'm not sure why.
Okay, so if he watched like Hill House or Bly Manor or one of those shows, he would just be like, oh no, I was really looking forward to just this normal show where people move into a house and it's a nice house. The end.
I would love.
He didn't actually want all the mystery to come in.
I love the idea
it's
of
scary.
Bly Manor, but yeah, it's just a house. Just like, oh, the end.
Yeah, they move in. They have some trouble, like because they have to get to know the staff and everything, and like they're setting up. It just becomes a home improvement show.
Yeah, it just becomes a home improvement.
And then you see Moviebob review Bly Manor 10 out of 10, perfect show.
It's like what?
Lynchian, quote-unquote, than a lot of other stuff that's tried to get to the same place. Now, obviously, that doesn't mean that WandaVision is somehow Marvel Holland Drive or whatever, but it also doesn't not mean that. What it means thus far, though, is...
Wait. That's... Just cut that out of your script, dude. It hurts. Redundancies are the first thing you chop out in editing.
Is that wherever WandaVision is going, it's off to a very strong and interesting start. And just as it also feels somehow wrong, yet undeniably accurate.
Stop showing this fucking trailer footage.
Because he just has it on a loop, doesn't he?
And it's pissing me off because I feel like I didn't watch the second trailer because I heard the second trailer is fucking spoiler filled. It does that fucking stupid trailer thing where they spoil half the goddamn plot.
I've been seeing like little things here and there that are a little bit spoilery and give some shit away, but yeah.
Praise the charming
I don't really care.
Originality of something created from equal parts nostalgia and licensed intellectual property. I'm also at this point pretty comfortable saying yes, the new Marvel streaming show is actually a weird, curious bauble of a thing that really does feel nothing like anything else currently running. No small feat in a crowded market. I can't say I feel as comfortable assigning
a crowded market, nothing's coming out right now.
Yeah, the only reason we watch it at all is because there's basically fuck all else happening.
Yeah, I wanted to do Y.A.R.P shorts based off fucking WandaVision, but there's kind of just nothing here for us to... So far, there's been nothing for us to really super react to.
Yeah,
I've been enjoying I've been taking like the critical drinker approach. This is a good opportunity for us to go back and look at older movies that, if there was a full slate of entertainment coming out this year, we might not have time to get to otherwise.
Yes.
I mean, we could cycle back to the Blade trilogy.
Oh, we should definitely do a Y.A.R.P short where we watch Blade.
Yeah. Nice.
Finding an official number grade here, since this is something I was
We
only
have to
able
call
to
it
see
Stunning and Brave, though, because, progressive.
Ugh.
First R-rated, first black superhero.
It's
It's great.
stunning.
Oh yeah,
And it's
Blade is woke as fuck.
Hold on, let me do my video essayist voice. It's stunning and it's Blade. Fuck it. It's stunning and it's Blade. It's stunning and brave. Wesley Snipes is the first black superhero in Marvel, and it's our first R-rated superhero film. Oh, that was
Technically,
that was
it
hard to
is both
maintain without
stunning
laughing.
and Blade.
It's Anytime I hear the word Blade, I think of the fucking Inside Gaming. You never get me, Blade. Blade, listen to me. Listen to me. Kill me.
First third of, but in terms of recommendations, I'd say this one is a definite should check out.
Ow!
That ding, I hate it.
Fuck you, Bob.
And fuck you, ding.
I'm the fucking... Okay. I don't want to...
Ow, my earballs!
Ow, my freaking ears! God damn it. It's fucking somebody that does editing. Bob, look at the bouncing of your fucking sound effects. I think I'm fucking
I mean, he just
bleeding from
downloaded
that.
the sound effect once and just nothing to like alter it when he's putting the videos together.
Yeah, and it's balanced so badly that if like he's not tweaking any of the ends of it, like cuz you could lower the volume of that and that'll still hurt like for like hold on. That's muted basically.
Out heard of, but in terms of recommendations, I'd say this one is a definite should check out.
So, damn near muted is when it becomes tolerable. That's what you would have
Yeah,
to
it's
get.
just-
But
Or even
more,
just showing it at the lower volume, it just shows how much louder it is from everything else happening.
yeah. So, in order to fix that, you would need to individually tweak the beginning and the end of that because that's what balancing does. You pretty much, because if you just lower the volume, that doesn't exclude the fact that it has a super loud beginning and end. Like it.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh.
Moving on.
Out for Marvel fans and non-fans alike, I've got a really good feeling about it. I want to see where this is going.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't really talk about episode to episode, but he usually doesn't because that would require work and detail.
I threw out the banner. Talk amongst yourselves for a minute. Jesus Christ.
Okay, so basically he just sounds more optimistic about it than we do, whereas we're just like very cautiously like intrigued about the mystery aspect.
Yeah.
And I think we've sort of lost whatever effect the nostalgia thing had. Like I said earlier, it's a cute gimmick. It's like, oh yeah, that's nice. That's kind of fun. And then we get into the plot. It's like, you hooked me in. You gave me a thing I was interested in seeing more of. And now I'm watching your show. Good shit. But they
Well,
seem to want to keep the
people
nostalgia thing.
people give The Mandalorian a lot of shit for all of the like filler episodes. But say
Mm.
what you will, by the end of episode 1, we at least have a firm concept of what the story is going to be about.
Yeah, and we get a big twist, like one of the big reveals of the mystery in episode 2. It's like, pacing wise, some of it feels drawn out in the middle of an episode, but in terms of unraveling the mystery, we're pretty good for time.
I guess my problem is we don't even know. Like, we're unraveling something, but we don't know what it is we're unraveling. Because we don't know the basis for any of this.
Yeah, we have no context from the outside world as to what's happening there, and I suppose that will be the next big reveal, which will have to happen episode 3 or early in episode 4, because we need to start doing something with it by the time we're in the middle of the show. And since we've actually had an invader from the outside, like, invade her homemade TV reality, then yeah, I think that's pretty much where we're at. But like we said, it's like we can't talk about it very much because it's just a first impression. So we're talking about where it could go, what it might do, how it might fuck
Right.
up. So yeah, that's why I'm sort of like non-committal about what I would rate it so far because we just don't have enough. Though at least I will agree with him that right now, as something that might be good, there's nothing else on. Fuck it. Oh, we can actually hear him coming back.
And I'm back. So that was shit. Jesus Christ. Yeah, it is very much a well. We have to wait and see. And I do agree. By like episode 4, they're gonna need to move on. Like get a fucking move
Yeah.
on.
But like in terms of just Moviebob standards, I think we agree with that one more than most of his videos, just because like, yeah, check it out. Sure, why not?
Yes.
And no one else is really talking about it yet.
Yeah, yeah, it's because we're kind of like, I don't know about you, but I forgot that WandaVision was even happening until like 3 days ago. I was like, shit.
I didn't even know it was a thing until you told me we were gonna watch it.
Uh,
I was like, yeah, we're gonna watch WandaVision. I'm just like, the fuck is WandaVision?
so, hold on. Let me throw this on screen for just a second. So I have the banner up. I was looking for the video, and so audience, Ninja and I were watching Signs because it's been so long since I had seen it, and we were like, "Is this a good film?" And so we start the movie. We're we're just like, "Oh, this is so scary and ominous music." And then, right as I throw the banner down, this pops up, and we both just went, "Ah!" Just executive producer Kathleen Kennedy, just like, "Ha! Oh, that's fucking terrified the shit out of us."
Like, oh no, mystery boxes.
So let's see. Let me grab that. Make sure it's paused. All right.
Oh, we're doing this now.
Yes. So, gentlemen, we all love EFAP. We love these things that make fun of a lot of stuff.
Ah yes, Y.A.R.P, that thing famous for being the largest Batwoman fan base on the internet.
Yes. So you could say that as we
Is this the video that Rags commented on?
Yeah.
yes, it is.
I feel like you might as well just tag him because we're covering a video that he laughed at.
That yeah, you know what?
Yeah. I mean, our theory was that like they originally scoped this out to maybe cover, and they just decided not to for some reason.
Oh, he's not on
Maybe
Twitter
because that's
anyway.
the
channel. So today we're gonna be talking about Batwoman.
Oh shit!
Oh my god, pause the shit.
I didn't realize that it started. I just hit full screen. I didn't realize that actually started it.
He's not on Twitter anyway, I guess, so there's
Yeah.
really not a way to tag him.
So
Yeah.
turn off the banner. I really wish he was on some form of social media so like somebody could get a. Oh, I just realized we've been having. I just realized we've been having chats for like for a good minute now. Moviebob is a treasure. You istophobe. I forgot how special Bob sounds when he talks. His sentence structure is abysmal.
Wait, there's structure?
Yeah.
That's kind of the problem.
And then Teacup just went like, "You're watching Moviebob, you maniacs."
Well, he's the only one talking about WandaVision. We gotta know those opinions. we have to learn what the correct thing to think is about WandaVision.
Oh,
Well,
God.
and hey, so far I think we actually have a more prestigious record of covering Moviebob than EFAP does because he hasn't killed any of us yet.
Oh yeah.
Just you wait. He'll just come up. He'll just suddenly be in Ireland. You'll know, Slur, because you'll suddenly feel the ground quake beneath you, much like the
Yeah.
T-Rex in Jurassic Park. We all love.
See, I
Bat-
don't know if he would even be allowed in through customs. We don't import cows.
Isn't sugar like banned in Ireland or some shit?
Wait, what?
I've heard that like you can't import Kool-Aid and stuff because it's like sugary nonsense.
Is it
Yeah, you
because?
can. There's even specialized like sweet shops that have a bunch of imported sweets from like America and Asia and everywhere.
Is it?
I mean,
it's-
I suppose those are shops that imported them special, but yeah,
it's
there's
the fact that
nothing really stopping it.
your bread doesn't have sugar in it.
But yeah, because it's bread, not cake.
Wait, you don't put sugar in your milk?
I mean, if it's chocolate milk or it's, that kind of milk, yeah, but we don't put it in just normal milk.
What do you mean you don't put sugar in your potatoes?
Starch is already technically a sugar.
Yeah, get fucked.
Wait, what do you
Yeah.
mean you don't put sugar in your Guinness? Oh, that hurt even for me as somebody who doesn't even drink that much Guinness. The idea of pouring fucking sugar into it.
Yeah, no, you don't want to do that.
I think the entire country of Ireland just stared at me for a minute, just went like, huh?
Yeah, no, you don't want to do that. It's a bad idea. You probably just make yourself sick, honestly.
That and it would foam up like fucking crazy. Because it would just react to the surface texture of the sugar granules, just like how the Mentos reacts to a Coke.
Not necessarily, but I've never tried.
As somebody who's like,
Next time you have a Guinness, drop a Mentos in there, see what happens.
well, no, I remember when I was just having a club soda and I wanted it just a tiny bit sweetened. I poured like half a packet of Splenda in and it caused it to explode. Like anything that's carbonated and it reacts to just anything being put in, especially if it's got a rough surface area, yes, it will react to it.
Yeah. Or it'll just dissolve and start fizzing more.
Mm-hmm.
Which is kind of what happens with Coke, because they pump that shit full of fizz.
Right. All
Saves
right.
them on volume.
Batwoman.
Hey guys, welcome
Batwoman.
back to the channel. So today we're going to be talking about Batwoman Season 1. Now I was a little bit leery of doing a Batwoman review just because I had heard some stories about how it wasn't even like that good and different things like that, but judging from...
Now, where would you hear a thing like that?
What'd you
The
bring
audacity.
me?
I heard some rumors that it wasn't that good,
I
and
heard-
now we're gonna hear the butt. I'm ready. I'm ready for the butt.
that butt's
'cause
just
what-
gonna slap us right in the face.
Give it to me.
So here's the thing.
Oh, so that's what you brought me.
So, what would you say is Batwoman's biggest flaw? I think the fact that she's just a shit tier superhero.
I
That's
mean,
its
honestly,
biggest flaw.
you really want to know? It's right there in the picture at the very bottom, the CW.
Well, yes, the CW can't
that's the
inherently
flaw.
make a good show.
They can't.
I was gonna say it's right there in the cover. She's right in front of the spotlight.
Well, yes, Kate Kane is inherently a bad character.
She's just, yeah. Everything she does is fucking awful, and
She's
the
such
story is, it's amazing trash.
Nothing will make me what made me angrier than when she was like seeing that guy who was like crashed his car. She moved him, looked to see what caused it, then put him back. And it's like
For me, it was when she was all like, "Oh, boo-hoo, I killed someone," and then she's like, "Well, Batman killed the Joker, so you're in the clear." It's like, okay, so hold the fuck up, and they just move on from it, and they never say it again. It's like that. Oh, it hurts me that you treat that like it's not the biggest fucking thing you could have said.
and
Yeah, false
Also-
equivalency like a motherfucker.
and also the fucking are we gonna count infinitism against Batwoman as well because she's part of it?
It is
kinda
part
have
of the
to.
experience.
Yeah, you kind of have to. But honestly, if you're talking about just the character herself, like I have seen animated stuff, I have read comics where Kate Kane is not an obnoxious cunt.
Yeah,
The problem is this show was about politics and pushing an agenda before it was about telling a story.
mm-hmm.
And this is the end product of that mindset.
And let's not
I
forget,
would say it was everything before telling a story, because they really paid no attention to the story they were telling.
yeah, and let's not forget the one moment where they had legit character development. Everybody on EFAP shut the fuck up and they watched it. They were genuinely
that
intrigued.
one moment.
Right before
And it
Sniper
wasn't
Guy.
even with fucking Batman or Batwoman. It was
was
fucking
Luke.
Luke.
Yeah, who just fucking they were getting like on Lucius Fox's killers, like saying like, "Oh, I was the winning lottery card to be framed for his murder," and EFAP's just like they're just watching, they're just silently
Yeah.
just absorbing it. They're just like, yeah, and then he gets shot. They're just like, why? Why did you?
Well, yeah,
end
he was
the
starting to
scene?"
show up the main character, so they had to have a plot sniper put an end to that shit.
Yeah,
Not in our CW.
I don't even think that wasn't even part of the script. Somebody just shot him. He's like, we can't
An
have
actual
plot.
CW executive was on set with a rifle.
Fucking slice and dice, boys.
All right, 15 seconds in. Let's fucking do it.
The posters and everything, even the trailers, I was always planning on giving it at least a chance. Now, as for people who don't like it, to each their own. I understand where there have been like little details that might be like why you might like, pull you out.
Little
details like everything that happens.
Everything that happens on that fucking show.
Like, I hate to be that guy, okay? But look at his description. I'll be posting about different TV shows, legacies. That's not an interesting sentence. The Flash, Arrow, a bit of everything. Those are literally two of the same fucking shows on the same fucking channel.
Yeah, he seems a bit of every fandom is a bit more like a bit of the CW fandom.
Pretty much. Yeah, like that's... I don't know what Legacies is, but I'm going to guess it's fucking the same thing.
I guess.
Hold on. Boo, do you want to Google it or will I?
You go ahead.
Okay, you go on.
Dun, dun. Oh, hold on. One of the other big flaws, like, we all give the Batwoman theme, like, we all enjoy it, but ironically, just because it's been drilled into our heads. In all reality, that theme sucks.
But the memes have made it, like, a very positive thing for us just because we laugh.
Yeah, but meanwhile, if you didn't have the fucking memes, that theme is very repetitious and
my god, it's another CW show that's a spin-off of the Vampire Diaries and the originals.
I know, I'm looking at the poster now and just waiting for a decent image to put
Oh my god. That's fucking terribad. Like, what do those two shows even have in common?
I don't know.
That's fucking horrible. But I'm not surprised because of CW.
Yeah. I'm gonna put a one of the posters for it in chat so you have a bit of context as to what we're on about.
Okay.
We're like really love Batman and our...
No, here's the thing. Here's the thing. If we were to have like somebody draw like
Desert Eagle,
get through anything, what'd you bring me?
Oh, it's such a meme, and that's why it's so much fun. It's just such a thorough dumpster fire.
But here, okay, so as much as the memes have made the Batwoman theme funny, it is a very repetitious and just bad song because it's literally a not a chord progression, it's a scale, dun 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 dun, and then like it's literally like 3 notes. Then sped up and dun 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 dun. Like it's as terms of how music is going.
Just blow us away with your music theory knowledge.
I mean,
Sideways, watch out.
I mean, I do understand a bit of music theory. I had to from my jazz band classes. They were like, why do these things work, and why would this not work? A good analysis would be the fight scene between Neo and Smith, because that gets very repetitious, but it's ramping up with the tension because this is a very high-stress situation. And also, it's only used that song once. But the Batwoman theme is practically used with every single, like, intense scene. Like, it's like either a fight scene or when he uses a gadget, dun, or when she uses a gadget, dun, 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 dun.
Did you tweet at this guy that we're covering his video just to be like courteous?
Oh shit! Yeah, I probably should. Every bit of every fandom.
Yeah, except apparently
every CW.
The Every doesn't have the second E
in
his ads.
Oh yeah.
Found him.
Maybe that other name was taken, so we had to compromise.
Yeah. Yeah, I had to throw Y.A.R.P on the end of mine because, of course, mine was taken. My name is not terribly original, so...
Yeah. Oh, God. Can... imagine saying no to this. It's Emily Blunt as Sue Storm and John Krasinski as Mr. Fantastic. I'm like, I guess? I could say no to it, though.
I mean, a lot of those casting theory things, or like, oh, can you imagine if this actor played that character? A lot of the time, it's just look-alike. That's all it's based on.
Okay. 3 a.m. I'm gonna let this play while I
Yep.
make a tweet
Oh,
to
and
him.
by the way, I put those Legacies posters in the chat just
I'll
so you can see the.
I'll show them off in a minute.
Curious about like the world and why it's like why every 2 seconds they're not just calling up one of the Bat family with little things like certain things that don't maybe make sense.
Those are not even
weapons
close to the
or whatever.
issues.
What
Yeah.
He's really doing this thing. It's like, oh, the people who have problems with this show, they're just nitpicking. They're just really angry about things that don't matter. And it's like, nah, dude, watch it again.
Well,
Pay attention.
To mention from even just from the marketing that came out before the show even premiered, the marketing was very like aggressively progressive sense. It was basically like, if you're some white incel dude, fuck off, don't watch this. This show isn't for you.
Yeah, the implication being anybody who doesn't like this is a fucking incel.
Yeah, it was very aggressive in its marketing that this was clearly not made for the average comic fan. And so it's like they chased away half of their audience and then wondered why nobody showed up.
And then the people who did show up immediately dropped out. It's like, oh yeah, not for the average comic fan. Yeah, I fucking hate those guys. I'm gonna watch this show. And then they arrive, it's like, oh, they only marketed it that way because like they wanted me to think it was pro me, and didn't realize they also had to have it be good.
whatever
When
your
did the
reason for
ratings
like
for it plummet? I think it was like a few episodes in, because it was a big thing that people were talking about. It's like, oh yeah, no one is watching this anymore.
Yeah, I think it made it, 3-4 episodes in, maybe, before it started seeing a significant drop in the ratings.
And what's funny is the only people that are. What's so weird is like, fucking Batwoman is a show that nobody's watching. Its main star drops out, but the show refuses to die.
Which I love, because now
it
season
might
2.
already be. We might be seeing some writing on the wall. Apparently, there was a bunch of scheduled crossovers between Batman or Batwoman season 2 and some of the other CW shows, and basically all of those crossovers have been canceled. Now, at this point, they're saying it's because of the whole COVID thing, but it could be writing on the wall that there's some serious issues here.
Didn't Supergirl finally get canceled?
Yep,
Yeah,
I think so.
I don't know if it was cancelled or if they just decided, like, okay, this is the last season, the story is done. So I don't know what exactly the situation is there, because I didn't watch Superwoman. It was cringe. Funny,
Superwoman.
but cringe. Or Supergirl,
See-
that's the one.
Yeah.
their own, honestly. But me personally, I love this show. Now,
The fact that he laughs says it all, doesn't it? Like, you know. You're not saying it, but you know.
You know what you're doing.
Hey, remember, the Batarang wasn't calibrated to her arm.
And it's like, we're not judging. We enjoy the shit out of it too. But we acknowledge that it's absolute shit.
It's ass. It's just ass.
Yeah, we're enjoying it because it's a dumpster fire, not in spite of it.
Kate
Yeah.
Cade gets fucking T-boned by a fucking truck, goes flying 20 feet, and is
And it
fine.
happens out of nowhere. It was just... It's like a perfect comedy setup because you just don't see it coming. And neither did she.
And she's just alive. It's like, what? How?
She's not even like scathed.
Yeah, she just gets up, looks at the show, is like, oh, asshole.
It's like in fucking Scary Movie 3 when the brother is thrown out of windows and he just gets up like a split second later. That's it. I'm never doing rap again. When it's like they play it as a joke, the fact that he just gets right up.
Mm-hmm.
again, for all the reasons why, like I just said, like I understand, I guess, for people's reasons. But I look at this as I look at all the Arrowverse shows, that's what I'm still calling it. And
So the shit.
So basically he's saying, like, okay, I understand that the bar for these things is really low. And if he's establishing that, okay, this is the standard by which I'm judging them relative to each other, yeah, you can do that, but you can't do it right after you've said, oh, I understand there's some problems, like really small problems that don't really matter, and then you give examples that are just literally not the big problems. It's like, disingenuous.
Yeah, Katie was talking to me about this the other day, about how like Arrow and Flash used to be really good, and he thought Infinite Crisis was good, and I was like, ooh.
Oh, oh no!
Get him
I'm
on.
already getting offended.
I was like, no, bro, no.
You know that meme where it's like where like Itachi or somebody just is like somebody like pins Sasuke to the wall by his throat.
Mhm.
That's just the meme. It's like us holding Katie. It's just like you really wanna say Infinite Crisis is good?
Yeah, it's really, really bad. I was like, no. Like Arrow did used to be good. Like the first couple seasons are pretty good. The first season I think of Flash was fairly decent, but it gets off the rails really fucking quickly. And most of the other shows are absolute dog shit.
And here's the thing. I think what adds insult to injury for Infinite Crisis for me was the fact they brought Kevin Conroy, my favorite de facto Batman, just to make him sound like Batfleck and then kill him. Like that was the
Mhm.
biggest fuck you I've ever seen in my life. I was like, oh
And also have him be evil so that Kate Kane could look better.
yeah, That's why I said they turn him into Batfleck because he like one
Mhm.
for one practically says a Batfleck line.
Says we must tear down the old to prop up the new. This is the way.
We don't need to do that. That's where
Apparently we fucking do because nothing else is making these fuckers look good.
maybe they'd write better characters.
Nah, that's too much work.
Ah.
And it's a comic book. I mean, I'm entertained by watching Batwoman kick ass. Like,
Wait, does she? Like
Okay.
objectively? Can you even say that?
No.
I mean, she gets into fights and we are told that she wins. So technically that counts, I guess.
Yes, this 90-pound-year-old woman is able to kill.
I'm just saying the Power Rangers fights were a little more believable.
Oh, you mean when Tommy like fucking drops down and is spinning and somehow achieves forward momentum?
Yeah, his fucking corkscrew kick, man.
Flying through the air. Or he's not even flying at the beginning. He's like he'd just leap into the air and in midair he will start spinning.
He starts
Oh,
spinning
man.
and achieve forward momentum, and then
Yeah, anyone who hasn't watched Power Rangers fights since they were a kid, just look one up on YouTube. They're fucking hilarious.
I love the fact that like activating lights and Aisha's like little ear things light up and they're like the most useless flashlights of all time.
Because the place is already incredibly well lit.
like if I can sit there and enjoy it and like I don't want to say shut my brain off because there are certain like things like that's
No, in fact, it's
Oh.
oddly more hilarious if you keep your brain on.
Yeah, pay attention because that's where all the really funny shit is in the details. Or like, yeah, the details like how they just copy pasted a Wikipedia article into one of their props.
that's not the good word.
Good times.
But you have to enjoy it for what it is. It's a comic book put on screen. So like I can excuse the little things like
Well, hold on. He's doing
Automatic-
that whole thing of it's a comic book, therefore you enjoy it as a comic. Yeah, but that's comic book is a very broad thing. There are comic books all across the spectrum of different narrative tones. So just being a comic book adaptation means nothing in terms of what the story is like tone wise. I mean, fucking, we talked about Civil War and Winter Soldier and shit earlier. It's like, shit gets dark, shit gets real. You don't have to be goofy. It's not a prerequisite. But then he seems to focus very much on CW shows, so, like I said, he's probably judging it by a very different standard.
automatically finding out where the bad guy is, or Kate being way stronger than she possibly should be, or different the physics of it all, because it's in the Arrowverse. If I can over
Wow.
The whole, like, her being stronger than she should be, that's annoying more so because there was a very easy way to get around it just by having her technique be better
Yes.
and not rely on strength the way the
Yeah.
Batman could.
That's the thing is there's an actual real world explanation for how smaller, not as muscular, not as gigantic people can win in a fight against opponents that are overwhelmingly larger than them. It has real world basis. It exists. It's not hard to find.
Yeah.
Pretty
you
much
can
every
even-
martial art addresses it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and even
Even-
without that, you just like say she's lighter, she's more nimble, she's faster, and she's got those techniques. If
Even
you just establish that episode 1, we're clear.
even
Yeah, just
wrestling.
her-
Even
well-
wrestling fucking brings this up. The idea of using your opponent's momentum and like using their strength against them.
And imagine like if you're building a Fallout character, okay? You just tone down her strength, but in her agility. It's okay. You can do that. You can make a character that's that type of role. They're not going to be the strongest person in the room, but they're still dangerous. Like the Punisher is a great example. He's nowhere near as strong as like even Batman, but he handles himself against superpowered opponents all the fucking time because of his skills and techniques.
And his one
equipment.
superpower, which is gun.
Yeah, guns. A
Yeah,
shitload of bullets,
they really
guns,
have.
maybe a boot knife.
A boot knife? I think the man is made of knife.
And gun.
And
He has bullets for blood.
all the guns.
Have you guys seen this? Have you guys read this one comic where it's like it's Punisher just trying to kill Kingpin, and it's just like all his failed attempts, but he keeps killing all his henchmen.
So Kingpin just has to keep getting new henchmen and is really annoyed.
Or look, Oliver's bow and arrows not always making sense, or Barry Allen's super speeding, or Legacy's traveling through time. I can overlook some nitpicky details in this show too. So
that's not.
Well, hold on.
nitpicking.
He's done that thing. He's done the thing again where it's like, okay, I can overlook the things not making sense. So you've already lost us. If you're okay with things not making sense, then what possible standard are you like applying to determine whether it's good or not? Is it literally just did they jangle keys for me? Standard?
Yeah, and that's the thing is the title of the video is it's actually really good, and he's basically kind of thrown out any sort of metric.
Yeah.
Yeah,
For
it's actually
what
really
makes it
good if you
good.
don't try to measure it against
If
anything.
if he had just titled it "Why I Think It's Really Good," then we wouldn't be as harsh.
Or he could just be honest and say it's really good if you just remove all standards.
I'm
And
just
it's
saying,
kind of like, well, yeah, I mean, can't argue with that.
Yeah, I guess.
for those of you who don't like it, I understand, I guess, but like me personally,
This is the
I love the
third time
show,
he
and
said this.
Yes.
I was gonna say, yeah, he really keeps going back to this whole like he's clearly acknowledging that there's a large section of the audience that was displeased with this, but he's not
Mhm.
really addressing any specific criticisms, or he's just like, I get it. Why? What do you get?
Yeah,
What are you
or like,
saying?
or usually you would say, okay, I get it, I acknowledge those criticisms are in it, but it's also bolstered up by these other things that are in it, and that's why I like it. It's like that's usually how you would set this up. But oh, I get it, but it's entertaining to me because I don't care whether or not it makes sense. It's like, okay, dude, sure, I guess.
and I'm looking forward to it. I'm so glad it's got a season 2. I'm actually really looking forward to seeing what they do with it.
Us too.
Again, maybe that's just me. Maybe I'm just like really love like all of these superhero things coming to life, but like just really enjoyed the show from what I saw. So we're gonna talk about that today. If you do want to enjoy the video, like, comment, subscribe, share. I would really appreciate it. Yeah, let's talk.
Let's talk.
So Batwoman.
So he's like, he sounds like us. It's like we're about to sit the character down and have like, we really need to talk. This is an intervention.
So
You're shit.
Batwoman, you're shit at what you do.
Okay, we have some serious questions for you.
Kate, you're not a good
we're pulling you
superhero.
into HR. Yeah, do superheroes have a HR? Is there a HR department of like that Justice League satellite tower?
No,
thing?
yeah, we're taking you to the Watchtower's HR department.
So you
It's
refuse to capture your supervillain sister.
Martian Manhunter's just sitting in like an HR cubicle. So I see you refuse to capture your supervillain sister. Alice can be redeemed. She's killed and robbed and like done all of these things.
And then it's like you just have him go, so I hear you've killed someone, and Batman just kicks the door and says, you did what?
Oh yeah, Batman rises from the fucking grave, rips the door open in like his own version of Hulkbuster suit, ready to kick the shit out of KK, and he's like, you did what? You stole my shit and then you killed somebody?
You stole my entire legacy, all of my tools,
excuse me.
and then didn't even do a good enough job.
The suit is literal perfection. It will be when it fits a woman. And now it will be when it fits a black woman.
Well, it kind of reminds me of the way like Anna's been doing some of her videos lately when she's like responding to all these tweets and shit.
Uh-huh.
She did like a High Republic video where she's talking about, okay, so take the tweet, take what the person is saying, and just like flip it. So if they're talking about black stuff, for example, put the word white in there and see if you would be okay with them saying that, or vice versa. Same thing for the whole women and men back and forth. Like, would it be okay if a guy came out here and said it will be perfection when a man does it? It's like, no, that's really cringy. Why would you say that? It's
Yeah.
the
Or
same
he's-
for their side too, you know.
It-
But it's
Yeah.
okay because they're being progressive.
The
yeah.
suit is literal perfection. It will be when there's a Klansman hood on it.
No, it will. It will be, and she just doesn't put on the suit. She just she just ignores it.
Or the next time we see Batman, he's like in a Batman suit that has tits, and he's like, "What? It's literal perfection."
It fits a woman, okay? But Batman.
Batman,
Shut up.
no. Please. They're extra utility pockets.
He
Thanks,
pulls,
Alfred.
He pulls a battering out of. He pulls a battering out of one of the tits. Yeah.
Oh no, it's not calibrated for me.
No, he just throws the tit itself. Just, ah.
The bat tit.
Da, 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 da. How come? Hey, how come Batwoman doesn't have nipples? Because if Batman gets nipples, how come? Like, let's talk about
Hashtag equality.
yeah. How come we're not being that progressive, huh?
Or maybe his nipples were only extra hard in that movie because he got to share screen with Ernie. And that's why they were showing through the suit.
George Clooney's nipples were just piercing the fucking suit. He
Yeah,
gets to
it's
be in a
"Oh,
movie
these
with
babies could
Arnie?
Oh yeah, these tits could cook glass, baby.
Anytime the camera wasn't rolling, Clooney's constantly just shaking Arnie's hand like, oh, it's so nice to just be with you and just to work on a movie with you. He's like, thank you.
I mean, they had to really modify the suit, or we also would have had the bat boner.
I know a lot.
That was just the after Pat Boner.
People thought this show would be canceled by now. I personally am glad that it was not.
Us too.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to like not be all like, well, a lot of people thought this, and here's what I think, because like
So I'm gonna not take in any outside opinion.
Yeah, I'm not. It's even just the framing of the video is actually really good. So like the premise is he's arguing against an established opinion, and now he's saying he's like, okay, but I'm not actually going to address that opinion. Okay.
Well, and I'm just going to throw this out there, and why I mean this as like lovingly as possible, but script your shit.
No, I know script.
This dude is
important.
rambling as a motherfucker.
No,
what are you trying to say?
Hold on, I'm not. I'm not against scripts. I just don't know how to do one. That's more my problem.
Or even if he doesn't use a script, just what I always say: bullet points.
Yeah.
Have your bullet points.
Yeah,
Do a
bullet
practice run.
Even I do.
and
bullet
Have a
points.
note card. Yeah, have a note card with some fucking bullet points on it, so that as you're recording, you can see kind of generally what your outline is, the points you want to hit.
I don't know why you were like specifically pointing at me. I'm not anti-script. I just don't have one.
No,
Yeah,
I'm just
nobody was
saying
talking to you. Yeah.
you don't like you've tried to do all this project stuff without a script, and I was like,
Yeah, I
so-
know. It's more the fact that
I
I
don't
haven't
do it.
started. That's like always been my issues. Like I have all these ideas. It's just now I need to actually start.
Yeah.
The biggest thing that I've that has helped so far is the fact that I actually have gotten Y.A.R.P going. Now that I've proven that I can do this stuff, now it's time that I actually get to work on the stuff that is my solo stuff.
Right.
It's even shit like this where it's just a stream and we're all just kind of hanging out, watching things and talking. If we're talking about something specific, we will make bullet points, even though it's a fucking live stream. It's just
Yes.
conversation because we want to remember the points we actually wanted to make.
No, this guy probably would have been helped insanely, just like how we were talking to Sawyer, if he just bullet pointed his points.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Well, we're what? I mean, 3 minutes in, and he really hasn't said anything.
Yeah,
We
he hasn't
don't
said a
really
goddamn
know what
thing.
his stance is, other than
He likes
it
it.
He
didn't
doesn't have
bother him,
standards.
so it's okay.
Which is a similar argument to is like, oh, yeah, that happened in the movie, but I just don't care about it. Therefore, it's not a criticism, or it's not a valid criticism. It's like,
Yeah, that's not exactly how that works.
I know that's not really. It's not really supposed to be what this is about. I just want to talk about the show because I personally enjoyed it. But like, it's hard not to like do this without being like, oh well, some people thought this, and this is what.
Hey, it's the Beth
Well, then
episode.
just- yeah, that one. But yeah, he's like, oh, it's so hard to do it without saying, it's like, okay, yeah, that's because you're framing your video in opposition to something. So if it's so hard not to reference the other side, then just reference the other side. It's not that hard.
It's really not. It's not that hard
Yeah,
at all.
it actually kind of would have done his video a big service if he just started out by saying, there's a lot of people out there who don't like this show for X, Y, and Z reasons, but here are some reasons why I think it's really good. Done.
Yeah.
And then
Mhm.
present your argument, present your case.
Season it with some examples, and you've got a video right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go.
My actual feelings on the show are because I personally enjoyed it very much. Now, the first 2 episodes,
Oh my god,
again, I'm
take
getting
a
this stuff.
fucking drink every time he says personally, or in my opinion, or I enjoyed it. It's like, fuck, dude.
I'm really hoping he sees like the tweet I made at him. So the tweet.
He's just waving that fucking get out of jail free card, like, you can't attack me for my opinion because it's my opinion. And, I'm not making an actual argument. I'm not actually, staking any kind of claim or mounting any kind of actual defense. Don't at me, bro. It's like,
my bigger
dude,
issue is just the repetition. He's like said the same thing multiple times, a few times now, and we're only 3 minutes in.
Yeah, it's like, dude, got a fucking point? Make it.
This is really. I want him to hopefully see his tweet, and then he'll just be like, "Oh, how dare you attack my personal opinion?" It's like, I'm not attacking your
hold
opinion.
on.
I'm
How
attacking your
hostile was
argument.
the?
No, he hasn't. No, he
What
hasn't.
did you actually say?
No, he hasn't said anything back to me. No, I just said we're looking at
No,
your video.
you.
What did I
Oh, yeah.
say? I said we're looking at your video. Just thought you should know, and then that's the it.
Fair enough.
Oh no, why is this a thing? As I glanced at Twitter, you know how there's a
Oh, no.
Snyder cut? People are saying that they should
Yeah.
release the Ayer cut of Suicide Squad, and I'm like, how about no?
Honestly, just for the same reasons as Marvel 2. Yeah, I'd sink my teeth into that. Although it would be painful, but it'd be that good hurt, that good tism.
Oh,
I'm just gonna get like the whole season done and then go episode by episode. So these are gonna be my season 1, just like what my little thoughts on each episode up until the current one.
Oh, so we got bullet
So
points
my
now.
favorite character so far is Mary. Right from the beginning, I loved her.
that
The
is
Asian girl.
yeah, that's Batwoman's stepsister.
The doctor one?
Yes,
Yeah.
the one with the cure-all blood, the one who is
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So, okay,
oh,
that's his favorite character.
Yes.
She doesn't really do much that I remember. She's just kind of there whenever somebody needs healing.
His favorite character is the Nod character.
Yeah, one of like the C cast.
It's like when
Okay.
it's like when Cinematic Venom said his favorite character was Lurtz.
Well, the funny thing is, I mean, she gets more important to the plot like towards the end of the season, but
Mhm.
he's only doing episode 1 to 11, and I don't think by the time episode 11 rolled around, she was really all that important.
Do you know where we were in around 11?
Not specifically. I'd have to pull up like an episode list.
I'll pull up an episode list just so we have an idea of.
But
where
I
it is he's
remember
doing
in the
that.
beginning part of the show, she kept getting overshadowed by like the connection between Kate and Alice, and how Kate felt more like Alice was her sister than Mary, even though they were, Mary wasn't a psycho murderer.
I felt bad
Okay,
for her
so
because
episode 11 is the birthday one. On the Kane sisters' birthday, Kate and Alice contend with demons from the past. An unexpected guest makes a surprise appearance in Gotham. What was the birthday episode?
That it was the one that ends with the Beth clone coming, not clone, Beth from another universe coming in and being like, "That's my sister's birthday," and she just attacks her, thinking that it's fucking Alice.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, okay. I know where we are now. Fair enough.
of like the fact that all she wanted was a sister, and Kate is just like kind of wants to keep her distance of everything that happened with her sister, which is understandable. It really is.
She keeps wanting to get her distance from her sister, but here's the thing. Every other episode, she thinks she can be redeemed, and then the episode where she locks her in Arkham, it's the smartest thing she's ever fucking done in that show.
And then, yeah, you just have this really weak villain thing. It's like, oh, yeah, I'm evil, but I just really wanted a sister because I didn't feel loved as a child. Also, it's like all this trauma.
Well, I think
That's why
he,
I've got a body count of 10 plus people that I've murdered.
I
Like,
think
oh,
he was
oh.
implying that Mary wanted a sister, but I think at this point in her adult life, she would have kind of given up on that by now.
Yeah.
Like that's
I
the
mean, you
weird
would
thing is
hope
like
so.
none of these people seem like real people in the sense that they're all essentially dealing with what amounts to like high school level issues. It's
I mean,
like
that could
most
just
of
be
this,
they targeted at like high school age people, did they? We
not
never actually got
really.
confirmation on that.
I mean, if it's part of the Arrowverse, it's kind of aimed at like young adult.
Mm.
So
So yeah, the high school drama bullshit seems odd.
Ugh.
Is. As far as villains go, in like those first few episodes, Magpie, very Catwoman-like. I appreciate Batwoman.
She liked Magpie. Wow.
I liked how Magpie went out. Shit was funny. Just yanked off a building into a fountain and lived.
Woman getting her own like comic book, so like bear with me if I'm everything that happened with her sister, which is
That was
understandable. Let's go in like those first few
messed up
episodes.
because it.
Magpie, very
we go.
Catwoman-like. I
Mhm.
appreciate Batwoman getting her own like little rogues gallery. I'm not super familiar with
Her
the
little what?
comic.
her own rogues gallery, but that's kind of insulting because it's like she already had her own rogues gallery, you fucking twat waffle.
I don't even know what villains
Yeah.
Batwoman normally fights.
That's not the point.
Oh yeah,
Like
no, I know.
her rogues gallery isn't as, well recognized as like Superman's or Batman's, but she still has one from the comics. She's already an established character. So
Yes.
it's not like this is something that you should give a point to the show for doing. It's like, no. The show didn't create this character out of thin fucking air.
Mm-hmm.
And also, yeah, he's giving bonus points because she's getting her own rogues gallery. Yay, she has villains. Points, I guess. That's no. That's part of the premise. All right, let's go.
Book, so like bear with me if I'm not like if like there's a character that like has more significance and I'm just like overlooking, I apologize.
This isn't Mary. Why does he keep showing this?
I don't think
what
he's
he's
shown
showing on
Mary a
screen-
single fucking time.
He hasn't.
No.
Which is weird considering that's his favorite character. Like he didn't even show her one time during the where he was talking about her.
Yeah.
And that's also why I had to be like, wait, who was Mary again?
Wait, who the fuck are we talking about?
So yeah, I thought Magpie was really cool and I enjoyed it. She was again very Catwoman-like character.
Image
So yeah,
unrelated.
It's cool for Kate to get her own Catwoman. Luke Fox.
Again.
Image
Yeah.
unrelated.
Take it.
That would be me.
I don't
Luke
think.
Fox, pictured here, asserting that he is in fact Luke Fox. Good job. And it's like, are you sure?
I don't think this guy was actually paying attention, so he just thinks that that Alice was Mary, that fucking Luke was fucking Kate Kane.
I want to know what version of the show was watched where like that's the interpretation. You actually think that this is who the characters are, so you actually watch all of Batwoman, not knowing who Batwoman is. You think
I
it's like,
don't know.
He was
the
high on
situation in which
edibles.
I don't know the situation in which I would actually ever need it, but I feel like someone needs to fucking meme that, just in
Well,
case I
that
ever
would be
need to
me.
utter the. That would be me.
Hold on.
Just
Coming
like the
coming
eerie,
right up.
like the eerie hissing. Fucking. You don't need the whole screen, just like the little vertical one. Just-
Yeah, I'll make a vertical one too. It's just for some.
wide ones work better for like Twitter and shit.
Yeah,
that's fair. Yeah, we'll do that. That would
But-
be me.
that's.
Yeah.
But I'll do for just like Discord.
I just
when
think
we're
of like
chatting.
anything just innocuous, like oh, who ate all the cookies? That would be
That
me.
would be me. Oh,
I did that because she even looks ashamed, like in the image.
yeah,
It's
like
great.
and just for our own Discord pleasure. that would
Shameful admission of guilt. That would be me.
that would be
Yeah.
me. Who says the Batman Begins is not a good film? That would be me.
hmm
One of my other favorites, I hope to
Wait, I was gonna say you just watched Batwoman while on edibles and just never corrected the fact that he got
Edibles will not do that.
I don't
Edibles,
know.
like
I
you just get really mellow. You're
Oh.
enjoying it. Everything's funnier. It's like it's good shit. But like
took, like,
he was on,
acid then?
PCP.
He
He
took,
was
like-
watching a completely different show, and that's what he just thinks he watched Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
possibly see, because the one thing that I do know about the comic book is Luke Fox becomes Batwing, another Bat family person. Something that would be cool to like kind of grow that up a little bit, especially post-crisis.
Yes, because you could
Wait.
see that guy hopping into a fucking mech suit.
I mean, yeah, but like here's the thing: is like I love this character because in the comics he becomes Batwing, and that might happen in the show too. Wait, so why is he your favorite character now? That hasn't
Right.
happened.
If anything, everything that they've shown you so far is pretty shit with Luke. He had one good scene, one good character building potential arc,
And then in Crisis, they fucking gave him a gun.
and then that's it. Like that's all he's done, and he's my favorite part. It's like okay.
This is my favorite part.
I'm Commander Shepard, and this is my favorite part on Twitter.
Just with all the superheroes running around, I think he could be like a really cool partner for Kate. Let's go with partner. So yeah,
Kate's
I thought
not
that
even
was cool.
around anymore.
He
I mean,
didn't
I guess
know that.
this video. Yeah, I would say this video was made before that happened, but still,
Hold on,
Jesus.
I'll throw the banner
But he
up.
started talking about season 2.
No, this was February 2020. When did Ruby Rose say that she was done? Ruby
I mean,
Rose.
2020 is just one big blur, so I can't
Feb-
actually place
February
anything chronologically.
2020. Ruby Rose drops
So wouldn't all of the episodes have been out by then?
out.
Because
of-
the whole thing was she quit like after the last episode, or right before the last episode aired.
So I guess he only watched the first half, then made a video, then watched the
Oh,
second half.
no, so by the time he made this video, she had not dropped out of Batwoman because she dropped out in May.
Yeah, fair enough.
Okay, that makes more sense than I was going to say, because he's talking about season 2 and stuff, so like he knew it was a thing, but
who drops out of season 2 of Batwoman? That would be me.
that would be me.
I enjoy him as a character. Her gadgets and stuff like that from the first episodes are really cool too.
Oh my god, he
Oh,
finally
so
did the
that
thing! He showed Mary! Yay!
Yeah,
Yeah,
finally.
Except, no. Hold on. This is not a picture of Mary. This is a picture of all the bat tools.
No,
Why would he
Goddamn it,
have something
image-
on screen that doesn't match what he's saying? That would make no sense.
Just the whole caption for this video is image unrelated. I mean, just
just take a screenshot of just this general area around Mary, and then just put visual unrelated.
Although technically she is one of Batwoman's tools. At least
Yeah.
that's how she's treated.
pretty much.
Oh,
Episode 4 with Batarang and different technology and stuff like that. I would love
the different technologies such as a batarang, the most
And the
generic.
bat axe. I'm still waiting for the bat axe to get some screen
No, I
time.
want the bat crossbow to be used. I want the fucking. I want the bat axes, the bat crossbow, the bat just gun. No, the bat scythes. That's what I want to be used.
The
We'll
Bat
see more
RPG.
the, the bat grenade launcher.
The Bat
Like,
Warhead.
Batman has like a variety of like different bat things. It would be cool, like say some
Oh, you mean like that automatic chain that she just tosses and it just puts Alice against that thing, against that tool?
Yeah, the Bat Auto Capture Belt thing.
Chain thing? Yeah.
some of them and like a new take on them instead.
That face.
Um,
That's another screenshot.
It's like,
It's
no?
just like, this is the face of someone who's like really racking their brain for good things to say about Batwoman. It's like, well, there's the, and then there's,
Well,
you
there's
get it, right?
Batarangs, so it's got to be good, right?
I mean, she has villains. You get bonus points for that, right?
Yeah.
I don't know why my fucking brain did this again. So the alien from Jujutsu, but with Ruby Rose making that face.
Dude, you can't just keep putting people in that armor.
I
get
can't.
sweaty.
I can't.
The space poet.
No. A warrior poet in a sci-fi sense. The spaceman.
The Spaceman. What a treasure of a movie.
I keep referencing it here at home, and it never ceases to cause me and River to just die of laughter.
The grandma with the shotgun.
Oh, best character.
Yeah.
I want to, when cons come back up, we're gonna fucking go to the first con that Nicolas Cage goes to. All three of us. We're gonna go up to him as one and go, so are you like a warrior poet in a sci-fi sense? Are you the spaceman?
And you get him to like
Yeah.
sign an autograph, but the picture is like him with his like paper hat from that movie.
We should just go up wearing paper hats and be like, sign our hats.
No. One of us is dressed up like as his quote unquote son. One of us is dressed up as the alien. One of us is dressed up as him.
Yes, we are the largest fan base for Jiu-Jitsu that exists. The three of us.
He's like really impressed. Like, oh, I really liked jujitsu.
I bet he doesn't even remember filming it.
Yeah, he just like, what
He
the
thought he
hell
was
are you-"
actually just going to therapy. Why are you referencing my therapy sessions? What is this?
It's like, oh, you didn't know that was a movie? My therapy session turned into a movie.
Yeah, he said it was set up like a studio for my comfort.
And then I had my back broken.
I mean, I did think the kung fu guys were weird, but it's therapy.
yeah, episode 5, we got Alice's tragic backstory, which that just keeps getting darker and darker the more the show goes on.
No, it's hilarious.
And funnier and funnier.
No, yeah, it's not bad. It's fucking hilarious. Where's the tea?
Well,
Slap!
and here's the thing, like, yeah, she has a bad, background. That's great. But none of that excuses what she's done.
I mentioned that earlier. They do the very lazy villain things, like, oh, my backstory is sad, thereby explaining why I'm a villain. Forgiveness now, please. It's like, no, fuck off. Be accountable.
Yeah.
I enjoy it. I enjoy when CW ends up having like some weight to it and like gives a child a tragic backstory, which is kidnapped and essentially tortured.
Hold on.
That's good at all.
Whoa.
I like when the CW gives children tragic backstories. That's an odd basis on which to like things, but do you?
That's like how
I guess he's saying like when these fairly light-hearted shows get a little darker and grittier.
I mean, yeah. Again, sure, but that on its own isn't a good thing. It's when now we have this lighthearted story, but now it's dipping into something darker, or this is the darkest of the shows. Whereas it's wildly flipping back and forth and not staying consistent.
Oh yeah, the tone of this fucking show is like you can call Arrow the kind of dark G, take on the Arrow show, and then like Flash is a lot brighter and more happy as a show than Arrow is. This show doesn't know what the fuck to do at all.
You want to talk
Yeah,
about
so-
something? Let's talk about how. Excuse me. How I think Arrow is just so unnecessarily edgy because when I think Green Arrow, I never think of the CW. I think the guy wearing a Robin Hood outfit and fucking shooting a boxing glove arrow.
Mhm.
Yeah, no, they basically tried to give him like the Batman story arcs
And it's just
up
like,
to and including Ra's al Ghul, and it's like, oof.
So even if he was saying it's like, oh, I just like it when the CW does a darker show, it's like that would be fine, but he can't even apply that to this one because it's not, except for those rare times where it just is suddenly. And then we
Right.
flip right back to hijinks where Ruby Rose opens a gay bar and then murders someone in it.
what the fuck?
I just appreciate a good tragic backstory. I appreciate them not shying away from it and what it could possibly do to a person.
No, how you didn't save me due to our weird twin link bond. That
Yeah, you didn't literally read my mind through a wall. You failed me as a sister. I'm going to blame everything that happened to me on you. And like, yeah, that can work. It's like she's just mentally broken or whatever, but they don't do that. It's like she's planning and scheming, and well, we are told that she's planning and scheming. We just see like thugs appear out of thin air, and she just turns up places. So yeah,
Like, I can
if they wanted to do that, they should have done it, but they didn't, and that's the problem.
appreciate what it's doing. I can appreciate it. But yeah, it is really, really sad, tragic backstory. Her and Kate being on.
Wait, what?
Take
Did you hear that?
take a fucking drink anytime he just repeats his fucking point that he just said.
Did you hear that? It sounded like he said I can reshoot,
Yeah,
almost like he
kind
made
of-
some kind of a flub or something, and
Yeah,
like
he
he was
did.
like,
kind
I'm
of
gonna take care of that
flubbed,
in
and
editing.
then he recovered it by just like, I appreciate it. Like, it's like, what were you going to say, or does it just amount to the same?
No,
thing
I
anyways?
thought he literally said I can reshoot that.
Oh, hold on.
But yeah, it is really, really. I can appreciate what it's doing. I can appreciate it.
I could reshoot it.
It does
Yeah.
sound like reshoot, but he's trying to say appreciate.
Oh.
I don't know. It sounds like he's like he got mad at himself for that hesitation, and so he's like, oh, I can just reshoot it or edit that out, basically.
Oh,
But I don't know
you
why
think
he
he
would.
meant like, oh, I can do another take of that, and then he just didn't.
Yeah, and then he just didn't.
Maybe, I don't know.
But yeah, it is really, really sad, tragic backstory. Her and Kate being on opposite sides of the wall was beautifully tragic. Just the whole
Well,
Beth.
it wasn't. It was
Ow.
really dumb.
Again,
That
why
moment
didn't you use
was
your
really,
psychic
really
mind
stupid.
powers?
Or yeah, why didn't you speak up, bitch? It's like we were right there. It was do or die, and yeah, she's a fucking kid, but they don't really do that either. It's just we have this one-sided thing of you failed me, and then Kate Kane is just like, yeah, I did. It's like, no, hold on, fucking think about this for a second. That's bullshit.
Okay.
Alice storyline throughout the episodes was just sad, to say the least. Beth constantly wanting her sister back. Kate never really giving up hope. It is just... It's sad. Beth and Mouse, I think that is a very cute...
Oh, Beth and Mouse is so fucking retarded.
Yeah, I mean, everything about them just because they're doing the whole thing is like, oh, these two, they're crazy. So none of their decisions or their actions actually have to be established or come from anywhere. They just do things and just are places.
Yeah.
Sweet, creepy brother-sister thing that they have going on since they are brother and sister. I don't know if they're going to do anything with the future, like...
No, they're not, because fucking Kate's gone.
Oh yeah, we've got a whole new Batwoman now, and she's going to have a whole new set of adventures. I'm sure they will be a lot of fun.
More backstory, like how long they were together, trapped there, but like... I enjoy that they actually grew to be siblings-esque. So yeah, I think
Wait, hold on.
they're
They did what?
They grew to be siblings-esque. I'm so confused.
Okay, first of all, what does that even mean? And second, what does it mean in the context of the show? Because, what, just they started interacting on occasion?
So you know that you know when C-3PO gets his fucking head welded onto a battle droid, he goes, "I'm so confused." That's that's what that sentence just did to me.
Is he talking about the fact that, like, she refuses to stop her because she's her sister and nothing else? And is that what he gets? Oh, this
I
sisterly
thought we
love,
were
it's so
still talking
strong.
about Mouse and Alice. Like, what have we moved on from that?
I thought we moved on, and now he's talking about Alice and Kay Kane.
He
Rewind
might
it a
be.
few seconds.
No,
I don't want to.
No, he was talking about Alice and Mouse. That was sentence.
Well,
was
then they
so-
always would have been sibling-esque.
Yeah, because they were kidnapped
But
together.
but they weren't. But they weren't siblings. Like he said, they were literally siblings, and it's like they weren't though because
Siblings?
one of siblings.
Go back to English class.
thing is interesting. I look forward to seeing it explored more. I actually like Mouse. He's really creepy, like character, so I think it's cool. I like the whole Alice persona.
The mouse thing was so fucking funny. Remember when it just smash cuts? He's just in that house with the fear gas just taped to his face.
Yeah, and also the way his face masks work, or the way it's never explained, they just do. He basically has a magic power.
Oh my
Yeah, it doesn't make a lot of fucking sense.
And yeah, it's like they try to do that, like the horror movie thing where the monster, you don't understand how it's doing anything it's doing because it's something supernatural. And that's why it's creepy, because you don't understand. In this, it's like he's a human person who turns your ass skin into a face skin and wears it, and everybody buys it.
And somehow it allows him to like gain or lose weight as necessary and change his voice as necessary and just all
And
the
his
things.
height
Yep.
There are rules.
and his knowledge.
There are rules to even which Chameleon can't fucking blend into things, and he literally steals people's faces. Do you guys not know who Chameleon is?
No.
He's a
I know what a chameleon is.
So Chameleon's a Spider-Man villain. Like
And I'm
he's-
guessing he just has the
he
mask
ha-
of many faces power.
Yeah, he literally he either makes a mold of their face or he just flat out steals their face, depending on the iteration. And he does disguise work. He's like, he was used a lot more in like the cartoons than he is in the comics now.
And yeah, that kind of thing would work more in cartoons, although just the premise of stealing faces is grim enough for like this show.
In the '90s cartoon, he had like a shape-shifting belt kind of thing. Like if he just touched his belt buckle, he'd turn into whoever the hell.
Damn, where you get me one of those belts?
Why would we do that when you already magically shapeshift?
Maybe I'm lazy.
With Mouse too. I like it. It's creepy. It's weird. It's what I want from a supervillain. Yeah, I love the sibling dynamic. The bat signal, when I saw that, I loved it because these are just like little things that I'm picking out now from each episode.
I clapped when I saw the Batman.
The bat signal, I loved it. The new commissioner was pretty cool. Is the bat signal just like a new Batwoman bat signal, or is this like the old Batman?
Up. You can see he's kind of trying to like pick into it. Is it like a new bat symbol? Like, what?
Careful, friend. You're very dangerously close to asking questions.
Yeah, we wouldn't want you like objectively analyzing Batwoman.
Incidentally, it is just the Batman symbol, and then like she modifies it or something, doesn't she?
No, she just has it.
Uses it. Yeah. Oh, Batman had this? Cool. I have this.
It also becomes this thing of like where she does like an article revealing how she's a lesbian
Oh yeah, she actually did an interview.
with fucking Supergirl. I'm sorry, like Kara fucking Kent or so whatever. No, they didn't even use Kent. They just did some other fucking name. They didn't do Zor-El, but whatever.
one. I'm sure that
Kal-El, no.
Kal-El, no.
God.
That super cut of Gal Gadot's acting is, oh, it's beautiful.
We watched bits from Justice League, and it really was just as bad. Kal-El, no.
was
And
talked
Wonder
about
Woman
earlier.
84. It's like, oh man.
I wonder if we should truly like make ourselves suffer and just fucking watch 84.
I have actually considered just watching it just because I enjoy really bad movies.
Let me know if you do. I'll sit down and watch it with you.
Earlier, but whatever. It's again just one of those little details that I'm picking out. Kate's ex knowing
You see
about
how he
her being
actually stops
Batwoman.
himself from doing it? That's a very strange reflex. It's like, oh no, I don't want to ask questions. I might end up not liking it. It's like, well, why are you holding yourself back from that?
Yeah. Oh no, I might try to do objective criticism.
Or not even that. It's like, oh no, I might actually have standards, and if I have standards, then I won't enjoy this thing. But like, if that's a thought that you're having, you're already halfway there to it just admitting it's not very good.
Will
So just go whole hog.
Will his CW Fast Pass get revoked?
I think interesting dynamic in the comic books and in Gotham things. The girlfriend or ex-girlfriend usually finds out at some point. So like, why not just say it now? And like, there's always the one person who knows about the secret identity to
Hold
begin
on.
with.
The
Now,
girlfriend usually finds out anyway, so might as well just say it up front. Does he know what the secret in Secret Identity means?
I don't think he does. I think he's. I have a sneaking suspicion that this guy might be a bit retarded.
Mm. And yeah, it's like that was a thing that always gets up with Batman. It's like, oh, all of his girlfriends end up finding out he's Batman anyway. And just when you look back at how long Batman's been running and the amount of times it's happened, yeah, it's funny. But like most of the time they find out by accident or there's someone he's been with for a long time and trusts.
Yes.
It's not just like, oh, here's my new piece of tail. Better get this out of the way. By the way, I'm a furry. Eerie hisses.
Here he is. He sets off the uwu device. God damn it. I'm never gonna be able to look at Batman Begins ever again in the same way. It just sets off his what's that? Back up. Oh.
what do I think about Kate's ex person? I think she's great. I like the character. Yeah, they're not really too much to talk about with that one. I appreciate her always looking out for
Wait.
Kate. I want to give her.
That was high quality tism right there.
It's just, well, you know, this thing. It's, you know,
It's
anyway, I
this,
don't really
it's
want to
this,
talk about it.
It's this.
Let's move
it's
on.
That. Let's move
Again,
on.
you go back to that screenshot of like Ruby Rose, that face, like trying very hard to think of nice things to say.
Yeah,
And when
that's
you
what
can, she's
that
just like, fuck it,
becomes.
never mind.
Yeah,
Next
it's-
point.
When you have to actually think of like objectively good things to say about Batwoman, it's like your brain just can't fucking do it.
Her like more agency though. I don't really know what I mean by that, but I just mean like
I don't even know what I really mean by that. It's like, what? Then why did
Hold
you
on.
say that?
Did I just hear a page turn?
Yes, he took physical notes.
This is him with notes.
Uh-huh.
Oh no.
Yeah, you didn't know that?
Oh,
We've
oh
been hearing
dear.
page turns, the entire time.
That's the first time I actually clocked it.
Yeah, it's
Oh
bad.
well. Let's go.
more important. I like in like the new episodes how she's like kind of taken over since her boss is like in prison now, which is Kate's father. I like that she's stepping up more. That's what I want. I just wanted her like kind of step up and be more than just that person, you know? Let me know what you guys think about her.
No, I don't know. What the fuck did
I
any of
want to
that
know what
mean?
you guys think. Now, Batwoman versus
No, you
Julia
don't.
Pennyworth. That is episode 7, I believe. This was great. I hope they bring her back for something. Julia Pennyworth is cool. I like her. Again, I hope they bring her back for something.
I mean, they
I love
could
the
have
name
brought her
drop,
back as season
and
2
so apparently-
Batwoman since she already had the suit on
Yeah.
and would have like continued on for what was there, but nope. I cannot wait to see how they like explain it. Have I gone silent?
No, you haven't gone silent. I need to quickly. I fucked up a patch job, so I needed to pass it over to River for a second.
All
Apparently
right.
in this version, Alfred had a daughter, which I can appreciate. I like the world building. In that episode, just had like a lot of Alice and Mouse stuff that I enjoy. It had more of the creepy sibling thing going on. Mouse is apparently jealous. I know there's some theories about how he might be the new big bad of the season, which I can find interesting.
No, we all wanted it to be Creepy Skin Man, but then Creepy
Yeah,
Skin
creepy
Man got
Ned Flanders.
yeah. Creepy
But
Mr.
yeah,
Rogers.
if Mouse is the new big bad, that's gonna make such nonsense. If you've got this new Batwoman who has nothing to do with him. So yeah, they really hate each other for reasons unspecified.
Dun 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 dun.
I would like to see more, and I'm going to talk about it later, but more Beth versus Beth.
Okay, I have been trying to keep silent about this. That feedback is really bothering me. Like not not like the feedback we're giving. No, the idea like the mic feedback. How you can kind of hear it. Just listen.
Which is probably where
Noticeable, yeah.
Yeah. That means if I remember correctly, that means your mic's not getting enough power or your cord could be damaged. It's really bad.
we're going to get going forward. Yeah, but I totally want to show about the adventures of Juliet Pennyworth. Just saying. Give her, why not? Alfred got his own spin-off, technically. Give his daughter one too.
Talking about Gotham.
Alfred got his own spin-off?
I think he's talking about Gotham because Alfred plays a really big part in Gotham. Because guess what? It takes place in Gotham City where Batman hangs out.
No, there was like I don't know if it was supposed to be a movie or a TV show, but there was like an Alfred Pennyworth. I think it was just called Pennyworth.
Oh.
Did it actually happen? Did it get made?
Yeah, it had 2 seasons. It's called Pennyworth.
Holy
it any
shit.
good?
I literally never heard of it.
I don't know. I haven't seen it. It's available on the Epix network. It's got a 7.9 on
What?
IMDb and a 73% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Huh.
So apparently people think it's good, but none of us have ever heard of it. I'd never even heard of the studio. Epic's studio.
They're like a kind of an offshoot of like HBO and Cinemax and stuff. They're a big movie like company, like a cable channel.
Anytime he shows up in a scene, is this guy supposed to be Alfred?
And again, throughout the whole season so far, Beth has become my favorite. Sorry, not Beth. Mary has become my favorite. I like how she interacts with everyone. I feel genuinely bad for her. She just wants to have like a family, and people are just she's constantly going
Didn't
through
you say
so
this
much
already?
crap.
Yeah. She's take another drink. He's repeated his points.
And it's like not even her fault, but like she gets so much, and she's not even mean to. She didn't do anything wrong. It's just how things are working out for her, and it sucks.
Oh, it's Vampire Lady.
Yeah, that was a thing that happened.
It was lesbian Vampire Lady. And how fucking Batwoman got all tied up. It's just like, I'm sorry, did Batwoman just turn into like softcore pornography for a minute? Jesus.
Yeah, the camera lingered on a lot of that.
Mm-hmm.
I love the Beth Kate dynamic. How Mouse, Beth, and Kate would all fit together, I don't know. I don't know why Alice would even want that at this point. I understand she wants her sister and all that stuff.
That's
but,
a very good point. Why would she?
Yeah, why would she? It's almost as if that's a flaw with the show.
Again, dangerously close to asking questions.
Come on, do it. You know,
Just
it's like
cross
that's
the line.
It's like that scene in Predator. Do it! Do it! Criticism's here! Do it! Do it! Touch it now!
Criticism search your heart, you know it to be true.
And the Mouse and Alice thing, I think, would be cool as a dynamic, and just have Kate be the villain, or the villain in their mind. You know what I mean?
Wow, just have Kate be the villain. Yeah, because she fucking is the villain.
He just pulled the fucking cinema venom. He says, like, yeah, the whole thing should have been told from Wormtongue's perspective.
Just see Wormtongue fall in love with Aowen and see how he's like, oh, I want to wear her clothes and I want her to fall in love with me. It's just like, oh, okay, creepy little fucker.
And then suddenly all of the Lord of the Rings just starts happening and he has no build up for it. People just turn up in the hall one day.
Hey, what the fuck are you doing here? Get off the crate. You're not welcome here. The hour is late. Wait for this conjurer.
But I guess I understand wanting your sister back and stuff like that.
Why wanting your sister to come back shows a completely unrelated thing.
Yeah, this is the vampire chick again, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, she just wants her sister to come back. That's why she drinks blood.
So, Mary's mom dying hit more than I thought it would, because again, Mary...
Oh no, that was fucking hilarious. Mary's
Wait,
mom.
isn't that just like, yeah, they go into the water and then when they find her, she doesn't have a head?
No, that was no. Mary's mom was the poison. Both of you have been poisoned. Only one of you can drink the antidote.
Oh, yeah.
Mary has become one of my favorite characters, so I felt even worse for Mary as is happening. And again, it doesn't help either that in this episode, like, we had...
Her time is now. I just saw that on the poster. Jesus Christ.
For a video titled Batwoman is actually good, or actually really good, he's talking a lot about Mary and saying very fucking little about Batwoman.
And not only that, but then we also had
worst part of the
more...
show.
Yeah. Just Batwoman is an awful hero.
Beth's backstory too. So like we just had tragedy back to back to back. Mary generally shying away from Kate.
Talks more about Mary, shows Kate.
Yeah. I wonder how many, like, if you had his physical notes, how many of them are just, I really like Mary though.
Hey, Ninja, you know a lot about Batwoman, right?
You mean like the show, or?
No, the actual character.
I know a little bit. What's up?
Is that an actual wig on her helmet, or is that her actual hair in the comics?
I think it depends on the iteration.
Well, of course.
I think in some I know in most of them she actually is a redhead, but typically it's a wig because it's not, her hair isn't that color. It's more of like a natural redhead.
Right. I love how the fact that that's our idea of redheads, when in all reality this isn't physically possible when it comes to redheads. It's like this scarlet fucking red hair.
It's like the most ginger fucker you'll ever meet. It's bright orange.
Yeah, and it's just like, no. And we all make jokes about how redheads are like the most attractive, when it's like we're thinking of the stereotypical like this kind of redhead, like we're this red.
Are you?
Not
I'm
at all.
thinking of gingers.
When I think of red hair, I think Mary Jane.
Hey, tread very carefully. You're talking about my people.
Okay, Triss Marigold.
Okay, talk about real people.
I don't know any.
When people are thinking about redheads, they're not necessarily thinking about fictional characters.
Nor are they thinking of characters with like colored hair that is literally red. They're usually referring to gingers.
Well, I was going to say in that case, I don't know any actual redheads other than you, Ninja.
Wow, I'll just take that as a comment. I'm the prettiest person you know.
Oh.
The prettiest ginger.
What?
And the prettiest.
You have not been given the G word pass.
And the prettiest ninja. Let's not kid ourselves here.
I love that because Kate hasn't really been there for her. She's been kind of a jerk in general.
Kate's evil.
And not even on purpose.
Oh.
Maybe even wanted to keep her safe, but still, she hasn't been handling it the best. I know by the end they do a makeup, and no, not even in this episode, but like they do end up making up at some point.
They never make up, as far as I remember. They make up when they go try to get Mouse, but then Kate does the smart thing and locks her up in Arkham fucking Asylum.
The second he brings up Batwoman, he starts like almost making criticisms.
Come on. You
They
can
grow
do
up
it.
so fast, but you're not there yet.
And I appreciate that. You know, they are still sisters, whether they like it or not. And so just seeing Beth get even like a smidge of what she wants, and that is a sister, is still good. So good for Kate for at least trying, but Kate was definitely a jerk to her, so I understand.
Hold on.
Hold on. She's a mass fucking murderer.
Hold on. I have I'm gonna throw the banner up. I've got a perfect clip that summarizes a lot of bullshit that we have with fucking Batwoman.
I wonder which one it will be.
Fucking let me close the.
And
Okay. Close that. Bring that up forward. Merge the windows. All right. Do that. Then throw the banner back down. Wait, they're shooting?
Why are you shooting?
Whoa!
Been
Also,
hunting
did she
before.
cock it?
My dad used to hunt.
Oh, okay, hold on. That was. This is from another EFAP mini.
Yeah. But yeah, that time's where they just got fucking BTFO underwater. That was priceless.
Throw the pull the banner back down. All right.
Mary's hesitations with her from that point on. Now, post-crisis. So, Batwoman dealing with the post-crisis Earth is interesting. Now, we know they're a little deep.
No, it's
Interesting
not.
is certainly a
No,
word.
it's not interesting because she doesn't fucking question it. A bunch of realities have smashed together. This is now the primary Earth.
Yeah, she comes back to do her normal Batwoman thing after being in a place outside of space and time.
Yeah,
And never brings it up.
she's the paragon of courage. God.
No, she's fucking not.
Details
She got that after killing Batman.
Mm.
across the different shows that like have bled through. With the merging of the realities, Oliver wasn't gonna get everything perfect. I'm joking, of course, but like this is its way of like kind of keeping.
Yeah, you're right.
Wait, what
Oliver,
was the joke?
that Oliver didn't get a perfect life, but he died.
I mean, he got to escape that shit, so that's kind of close.
Let's not forget that in the CW verse, they now have basically a Justice League going on, where like they go to that empty warehouse with the torch, and the
Oh yeah, that ending scene with the table, and they all sit down at the table in just this empty fucking warehouse with no amenities or utilities or anything.
mhm.
And you just imagine as soon as like they sit down, they're, okay, now what?
Some of the villains, keeping some of the same storylines, and also doing something really different with them. So Beth is back. Now I'm not sure if it is the Beth from Earth that Kara and Kate went to.
It's from a Earth. That doesn't matter.
Yeah, you can understand the confusion though because it is not explained.
It's not explained at all.
Or if it's just like another Earth and she has happened to be plopped into the new Earth, or what it is.
It's that scene though is just so fucking funny. She sees Beth just like, hey, I thought I'd just hang out with my sister. And then Kate just starts kicking the shit out of her.
Which
thinking
honestly is
that
like
it's Alice.
the only time she's ever had the appropriate reaction to seeing Alice.
Yeah, she thinks it's Alice and just like, oh, boom, boom. I think it's fucking maced in the face.
But then every time she meets actual Alice, she's like, "No, please stop killing people." And then Alice is like, "Haha, knife go slish."
Knife goes thrown right into throat. Oh.
But we have Beth, and we have different dimensions.
But we have Beth.
Resignation. But we have Beth. It's like, is that point supposed to stand on its own?
Is this supposed to be a point?
I mean, it is self-evident that this improves the show. We have Beth.
And I'm just letting you know, I did a whole separate video on the Crisis on Infinite Earths event, so you can check that
Oh boy, and we're gonna need to watch that later.
I mean, we gotta.
out. But this is gonna be, I kind of skipped those episodes because, again, I already made a video on that. So getting back to post-Crisis Batwoman, because each show did something differently. Supergirl had the whole bar thing and different brain. This one has this. Flash is dealing with his own.
This one has this. You got to
It's like
elaborate.
just the fact that they have things is what makes them good. So literally, the bar is just like key jangling.
Do you think
That's the bar.
Do you think his default mode for watching TV is the TV is just off? And he's like, man, this show is shit. And then he remembers to turn the TV on, and he's just like, oh wow, this is so great.
It's like there's characters, there's things happening. Wow, entertainment.
It's like that meme. Wow.
Own stuff. So as of right now, we had a very interesting episode. So I like all the little nods and shout outs to
He keeps using the word interesting, and that's like, it's strange because that's something I would say if I was building up to something. It's like, I cannot say that it's good. I'm about to say why it's bad, but I want to start off by saying it's interesting. There are things to talk about here. Let's talk about them. So you would normally use that if you're about to preface some criticism.
And I thought you were going to say the word like a lot.
I mean, I do that too. I can't really, I can't call people out for that.
I have a
He
problem
uses
with
it
it.
an awful lot.
Sawyer and myself have that problem where we say like a lot. I try to minimize it as much as possible, but it slips every now and again.
He also uses the word appreciate a lot.
Mm-hmm.
He just appreciates it all. He appreciates that it has villains and that we have Beth now.
We have Beth now.
We have Beth now.
multiverse and the actual Crisis and different stuff like that. I thoroughly enjoy it. Oh, cool. So I'm doing episode 10. So this one.
Okay, now this is just not even from the show. This is just a selfie.
This is just, yeah. Oh, wow.
So hold
Ruby Rose actually emoting. That's
It's more than we ever get in the show.
yeah.
Yeah. So
Fucking-
for the video, did he just like Google search Batwoman and then just keeps clicking next on the Google image search, and that's the footage?
I don't know.
Do you realize like this is the only time I've ever seen Ruby Rose actually emote?
I think it's the only time I've ever seen her smile.
Oh, hold
She
on.
wasn't horrible in Orange is the New Black.
I was going
She
to.
wasn't horrible in it, but I don't think she smiled in it either.
No, she probably smiled. I know somebody that's seen it. Oh, you've probably seen it as well, Ninja. Hey, sweetie, how was Ruby Rose in Orange is the New Black? Was she awful? So what you're saying is that every time there was a prison lesbian scene, it started going dun 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 dun.
Oh, there's definitely a super cut of that somewhere on YouTube. But yeah, in Orange is the New Black, she wasn't bad.
Yeah,
I don't remember her being
she
that
probably
bad.
wasn't bad. The problem was she had to do like an American accent, and she's very Australian, isn't she?
Mm-hmm.
So she ends up like just talking through her teeth. That's apparently.
She also didn't have to do much in Orange is the New Black. She was like, for one season, she was a side character love interest for the main character. So
Mhm.
she would pop in every now and then have a scene and then disappear. So she wasn't carrying as much.
Yeah, she wasn't like the focal point of the show. She was just a supporting character.
Okay.
One had to do with, I got very Black Mirror vibes because they did the whole person taking over the airwaves kind of thing. It was interesting.
What episode are they talking about now? Because now I've gotten confused.
I think he's talking about the hacker.
Oh yeah, the one who got away with crime for being gay.
I was gonna say, you don't know what it's like to be a lesbian, so I fucking hacked the train.
And demanded large quantities of money from the public.
You wouldn't understand because you're not gay.
And then
This
Ruby
is
Rose
like
is
the
just like, yeah, I
longest-
am. I'm very gay. You're getting away with this. Oh, okay.
This is the long that's basically saying nothing.
Ugh.
I don't think he's actually in point yet.
He hasn't.
Other than just stating things that he appreciates.
He's like, I
tragic
appreciate
backstories
this.
and that.
And then it's immediately us
Well,
pointing
but
out
that's what
our
I'm saying. Like
objective criticism.
even the things that he's like, I appreciate this. He doesn't actually expound upon any of that.
Or explain why.
Mhm.
Yeah, he's
What
like, I
adds.
appreciate this because, or this is why this moment is meaningful. None of that. He's just like, this happens, and that's good. Okay.
Yeah, it was interesting to see. I didn't mind the younger.
What is this? This is
Why
probably
is Ruby Rose in Josuke cosplay?
He used the word interesting again, guys. We're gonna have to take another drink. Jesus.
Jesus Christ. Hey, hey Luke, can you fucking put JoJo symbols around this picture?
Okay, hold on. I'll have to find some.
One of the like
And just be like, is this a JoJo reference?
this motherfucking JoJo reference.
Character that we got introduced to. We finally, though, because I saw this in Supergirl before I saw it on this, the article that is pronouncing that Batwoman is a lesbian. Good for Batwoman. Good for the fact that
Good for Batwoman.
Good for Batwoman. I mean, sure, yeah. Fine, I guess.
What
Hey.
is this?
I guess it's a crossover episode. Barry, hey, would hitching a ride in the Batmobile be out of the question? Get out. And it's like
It's a meme. I can't believe that's actually from a crossover episode. Like that can't be the actual dialogue.
this has to be from. Is this from Infinite Tisms?
No, it doesn't. I don't remember it.
I don't
But no,
remember.
that is like something they would have the Flash say. So
Yeah, but they'd say that to Bruce.
Well, hold on. That looks like Stephen Amell in the Flash costume.
Yeah.
Wasn't there something where like Stephen and Grant switched places for some reason?
Yeah, for some so before Infinite Tisms there were crossover episodes. So yeah, this is Arrow and
But why would she say get out? They're not even inside.
Yeah, I don't and yeah, I don't know why that's not Barry the ones Oh, I guess Barry would technically be the one saying it cuz yeah, but that's Barry right there. But it would be
Yeah, that would be Barry in the Green Arrow get up.
Yeah, it should be Oliver that should say that. It's like, would hitching a ride in the Batmobile be out of the question? Because, yeah, he actually can't run super fast. Probably doesn't have a ride out of there. Ugh.
Kara got to do the interview. Just, I love that. That's awesome. So as of right now, we have Beth/Alice.
Remember the fact that they reveal that Batwoman's a lesbian, and the commissioner uses that as an excuse to not turn on the bat signal?
yeah, that was weird.
Well, I don't know. It just the whole concept brings up a lot of questions how you feel about superheroes and their place in society, and like would somebody who essentially has a secret identity be coming out as gay, because that immediately narrows down the number of suspects.
Yeah, that's
Quite
evidence.
Yeah, you would
Yeah.
never put out like any actual identifying characteristics of yourself because it would help people find you.
Yeah, it's like, well, hey, so Batwoman is part of this very community. Guess that narrows down our search results, huh?
Because what's the first thing that people ask when they're looking for you? Does he have any tattoos, or is he a certain height? Like, what was he wearing? Like, immediately the most easy to signify stuff. It's so irritating.
You know what
So
else is
custody-
irritating? Trying
What?
to find fucking PNGs with actual transparency on them.
Because I'm talking about the ending of this episode now, because I want to get to the next one. Not that this one didn't have a lot of stuff in it, but it had like, so there's one thing I actually want to talk about. I know I keep going like jumping a million things, but like, how in a world of science fiction, aliens, things like that. Now maybe this episode.
Is he like trying to state an actual point?
Hold
He's
on, I
trying.
think he was almost there. So what is he trying to say?
I don't know. I don't get what he's trying to say.
That I was, but it had like, so there's one thing I actually want to talk about. I know I keep going like jumping a million things, but like, how in a world of science fiction, aliens, things like that. Now maybe this episode that I was talking about takes place before that, but I could have sworn this is post-crisis already, and that like getting a skin face graft thing, even if this was taking place before Crisis, so like she should be able to get someone. Sorry, Mary should be able to get someone to believe her in the fact there's someone who can swap faces.
Okay. So,
That's his first full point from start to finish. Okay?
yeah, in this world of superheroes, the idea of like
We did it,
face
guys.
swapping.
14.
Yeah.
I
He got
should-
But
there.
wasn't the whole thing about Infinite Crisis that basically she was one of the only that remembered?
Yes.
So it would make sense that nobody believes Mary when she talks about it.
Yeah. But even
So he
then,
made a
when you
point.
have,
It's just a shitty point.
yeah, but it's progress.
It is.
Something.
He
Like
finally did it. 14 minutes into an 18-minute video, he finally did it.
We got one, ladies and gentlemen.
that is not that far off. They live in a world of Joker, Scarecrow, Killer Croc, Batman. I know he's kind of like a myth at this point, but still, this is the world that they live in.
Batman is not a myth. He was a confirmed person.
Yeah, that's why all this stuff is there, and everyone immediately knew what Batwoman was.
Yeah, she's literally riding his coattails, figuratively and literally.
His cape
She's wearing his
tails.
coattails.
Uh,
Like, it's not that far-fetched. But yeah, we get to deal with just a few different things in this. I love Alice. I love
Is he about to say he loves Mary again? Oh my god, that picture.
Yeah. No, he said it again that he loves Alice.
And Mary. Is he going to say Mary again?
Let's find out.
Beth. We got to see the article written by Kara. I love it. I like that. I love that Mary's finally gotten like a
Oh!
Hey! Yahtzee.
bigger role in the show. Not like bigger, but like she's more part of the team. Still trying to be part of the team. Good for you, Beth. I feel so bad for her all the time because she just gets so much crap for no reason.
Wait, what?
Yeah. So
I'm so confused that I'm just moving on. I'm like,
I don't think there's much really to talk about that. I just really like the fact they did the article. That was really cool.
okay, yes, we
I-
know that
I-
you liked the article.
I
Did he
think he
appreciate
peaked,
it, though?
ladies and gentlemen. I think he peaked. He made one point, and now this is the downslope.
Oh
It's
no.
all downhill from here.
You were so close.
That would imply that we went uphill at all. We were on flat
We
ground.
did. It was
We
it
were
was
on-
a tiny, tiny hill, but we went up.
Yeah, he had a couple false starts, but he got there. It's like start to finish a full sentence that states something or asks a question. Cool. It's like, now, just keep at it, bucko. You'll get there someday.
Good for them.
And then he doesn't.
Something I really appreciate. I don't want you guys to feel like I'm glossing over it.
You are glossing.
You
done-
glossed over everything.
This
Fuck.
whole video is glossed over.
He glosses over himself
It's-
when he starts to ask questions.
It's like, hey, wait a minute, and then somebody slaps him on the face, and it's just like, consume. It's like in Batman Begins, breathe.
Still, like, I loved it. I loved it. I love the fact that Carl wrote it. I love the fact that she came out. Good for Beth. Good for Batwoman, because she's always been openly
What about, this has nothing to do with Beth.
LGBT character. Good for you. I know that is not the point, but I'm just saying it's good to have the representation and that they're actually going full-fledged with it.
Hey, oh no. No. You don't get to show this scene. This scene was the biggest fuck you I've ever seen in the history of anything Batman related. Like, I fucking hated this scene.
It was
Wasn't that the scene that like fucking broke Fringy?
Yeah,
Yep.
they brought
one of them.
Yeah, they brought Kevin Conroy, the voice of the animated Batman, and they basically said, "I killed Superman. And I did all these things. The world doesn't make sense, so you gotta make it make sense." They make him say Batfleck lines, and then Kate fucking kills him.
Now, post-Crisis Beth, episode 11, we got a call. Dude, this is really good. Call the other heroes when something like this happens. You have Beth from an alternate universe that shouldn't really be happening. You spent, like, time.
Why does Alice look like she was photoshopped there?
I genuinely forget sometimes, but the way Beth and Alice are the same fucking person, right?
Yes,
More or
Beth
less,
is
yeah.
Alice's actual name.
Okay, he keeps referring to them almost like they're two different characters.
I mean,
When
in a
they're-
way, they are because it's like alternate universe.
Yes.
Alice that didn't go all evil.
I guess.
Because, like, the car crash didn't happen and stuff.
Doesn't she end up getting offed though?
Yep.
Yeah, creepy skin man fucking shoots her with a sniper rifle.
Yeah, the plot sniper.
Yeah, and it's what allows Alice to survive, because remember, their molecules are fusing together. Like, they're melting because there's two
I'm
Beths.
assuming that happens after 11 is the reason he's not addressing it.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Oh no, the birth. Yeah, the birthday episode, which is episode 11, is when she turns up, so he wouldn't have actually seen what
Yeah.
happens to her at this point.
Time with Supergirl. In the episode, you were hanging out on her couch. Call them for an issue like this. Call anyone. Okay, that was the only nitpick I had.
Yeah,
Oh, that sounded like
was
an actual
that was the
criticism.
point. Hold on, the peak might not be over.
This is this what happens? Is this how Y.A.R.P becomes like this beacon to turn these like shit tier reviewer? Well, not shit tier, because that almost accidentally sounded like a diss at Sawyer. No, is this where we just help people become better video essayists?
I mean,
I
we
mean,
can try.
Yeah, it certainly couldn't hurt the world, but it reminds me of like a the whole video has basically been a flat line, and then like there was that little one beep for the signal of life, and then a little bit of another flat line, and then another shorter beep. It's like he's maybe coming back to life. We don't know. Is he gonna make it? I don't know. He's only got like 2 minutes left. Find out next time on Dragon Ball Z.
Dun 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 dun.
And not even nitpick, I'm just saying, call the other heroes.
It's not even a nitpick. Then yes, it's an actual flaw.
It's not even a nitpick. Well, yeah, I agree. It's not a nitpick.
It's why the
fucking
Marvel
worthwhile point
movies
to
have
bring
had to address it in multiple movies, where they're like, why didn't the Avengers get involved, or why didn't when you have like these world-ending level threats, why is it that they're not getting involved?
Ant-Man is the only film that straight up just says like, I think for something like this, we should just call the fucking Avengers.
I did the
I like
thing,
that
by the
in
way.
this
I
episode they
finally found
finally-
a fucking PNG.
Oh, you found the PNG of JoJo symbol? Yeah, there you. So, what do those symbols actually mean?
It's kind of like just a sounds like ooh. It's basically just whenever someone menacing appears on screen. It's
Okay.
just kind of like a comic splash when Batman goes like pow and stuff.
Okay.
So
Only
yeah,
brought up
JoJo
the-
will use splash text.
Like they're finally. This makes me feel like they are officially part of the Arrowverse. Is when they bring up stuff like that, alternate dimensions, different heroes, the multiverse. I love them talking about that stuff. Yes, please, more of that, more world connectivity. I just like the
More
world
infinite
building of
Earth.
it and like knowing that they're all integrated. I know not everyone's gonna stop by.
More infinitisms.
Mm-hmm.
What's really irritating is like, remember that scene in Infinitisms where like Barry meets the Barry of the Snyderverse, the DCUO.
Not really.
It's really shit.
Every 2 minutes to solve a issue, but like
That costume just looks so bad under any lighting. Like how do you get a costume that's this bad?
connection. We got more dark Beth stuff. Again, these scenes are just incredibly dark. Killing a kitten in front of two children's face is one of the darker things we've gotten in the Arrowverse. So props to Batwoman for taking you to a level we haven't seen before. Still, God.
It was brave. It was stunning. It tried things. Didn't succeed, but it tried things.
Bonus points for trying. Why not? Apparently, we don't have standards. Those are nitpicks.
And apparently Mary's just cool with the multiverse, even though she doesn't really know anything.
He just keeps bringing up Mary. I think anytime he doesn't mention Mary in conversation, do you think he like has an anxiety attack?
Yeah, it's like, fuck this show. When are we getting Mary Woman? Doctor Woman.
I think there was actually a real sect of the fan base that wanted like Mary to pick up the mantle when Kate Kane quit.
Seriously? I'd love that.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Fuck the Hippocratic Oath. Dun, 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 dun.
Oh, what is she gonna do if like she beats the shit out of like some thug or whatever? Then she goes back to work in her like underground hospital, and the thug
And the
fucking
same
trips
guy
off.
shows up. She's just like, oh dear. It's like she keeps putting him back together, only to then at the end of the night just fucking beat the shit out of him again.
Or yeah, he walks in and she immediately is just like, "Oh, I'll fix that up," and she just immediately knows where all the injuries are, and he's like, "How did you know that like my leg was twisted that way?" I'm a
Oh,
doctor. Don't worry about it.
I'm a doctor. Dun, 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 dun. Intense surgery scene. Dun 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 dun.
Why not just tell her at this point? If she already has a sense of it,
Oh, you love to see it.
and like not really explaining where Beth came from.
She looks like a Batman cosplayer, specifically during the interrogation scene parody. But
Yeah.
Apparently she thinks it's magic or a wish or whatever. One of my favorite characters, just tell her the truth. She's on the team. Like, she's officially on the team. She can know stuff now. Yeah. Just tell her. But apparently she's just okay with knowing. Even though she doesn't really know, but she knows about
It sounds like criticism.
Again, this is the third time now, dangerously close to asking questions.
Beth is here. In a world of aliens, monsters, demons, magic, just tell her that just tell her the whole story.
Okay.
I mean,
so,
again, we get into the whole thing of it's supposed to be a secret identity.
Yeah.
You want as few people to know as possible, but at the same time, it's like, he made this video why the show is really actually good, and he sounds like he's still not sure.
So I'm gonna just say this, that if you're trying to make videos and you want to stick with a color palette, don't throw in this like white background, because imagine you're just in the middle of the night, you're watching videos, and then suddenly, just this entire like light going off in your face.
More
you gotta show the
tragic
Twitter.
It's like a fucking flashbang.
Alice backstory of her having to sew the faces as a child. That is horrible. I like the.
I swear to God, if he says Mary, I'm going to punch him.
He just appreciates it.
I like the. And he just goes, Mary. Oh!
Pulling Beth out of the car scene because it harkens back to when she didn't do it as a child. I appreciate that. Yeah, that was a little bit before. But yeah, the whole car scene, Mouse getting trapped essentially, and then, at the after part and them having a party. Um, and Mary being exactly right as to
Oh, again,
Yeah.
it's on a timer.
Yeah, that Mary. She's the real fucking hero of that story.
We should get him in a debate, and we're just like, all right, say something about Batman not Batman, about Batwoman that doesn't involve Mary.
Yeah, not even a debate. I just sit him down. It's like, we'll give you all the breathing room you need, but we're just going to talk about the show. And if you have questions, don't stop yourself. That's the only rule.
Uh huh. Oh
Because
man, I love Mary so much. Shut up.
no, let him go. Let him go. I was like, why? Okay, now let's compare her to the other characters and why in all of that video you talked so very little about anyone who actually did anything.
everything and explaining her whole theory was right. Again, why not tell her? Nitpicky, yes, but still just tell.
No, that's not a
That-
nitpick. If it's a fundamental flaw, that's not a nitpick.
But you can hear he's getting annoyed at himself. Like, oh no, ew, criticism. No, I don't want that. I want to like it. It's a positive thing. I'm positive with this video. It's a good show. It's like, and the illusion is very slowly starting to crack.
Here's the thing. Here's how I feel about like where they view criticism as just this negative thing, and it's like, can't you just be positive for once? It's like, but it's shit though.
Yeah, we're very positive about things that we like because that's what liking things is. I have positive feelings about them.
Tell her. And that is the ending where we get Beth and Alice having like a weird migraine thing. Now, what are they going to do with these characters? I would love to hear your guys' theories. Personally, I don't know if they're going to do like some kind of merge thing where the two entities become one. I think that would be way too crazy for Batwoman. Or if one of them has to
Wait, really? Would it? Would it though?
Hold on, how many episodes are in Batwoman season 2?
In season 2, I do not know.
Batwoman season 1.
Season 1 had what, like 18 or 20?
20 episodes. This is through episodes 1 to 11. So this is before Creepy Skin Man shoots Beth. Oh my god.
I think this is literally the halfway point plus Crisis.
Yeah.
Because I think 11, either 10 or 11 was the Crisis crossover.
die for to live. What is actually going to happen with that? Maybe they'll pull like a little double cross. Who knows?
Oh my god, the ending was amazing.
Who
It's the best part
knows?
of the video. And not even like the best part was when it was over. No, I mean like that was literally fucking hilarious. Great, I love it.
Who knows?
Who knows?
Just silence. Silence video over. Hold on. I'm gonna
Wow, like, dude,
I've thrown up the banner.
This is not a live stream. Like, you edited the video and you chose to leave that shit in. Like, you didn't want to do another take on the end there? Like, you want to redo that?
No, that ending was perfect. Leave it alone. It's the best part.
Hold on, I gotta go back to it. I gotta have another taste of it. Just gotta full screen that, throw the banner back up. I gotta hear
Migraine thing. Personally, I'm a woman. Or if one of them has to die for to live, what is actually going to happen with that? Maybe they'll pull like a little double cross. Who knows?
And you can actually hear that he was about to say something else, but that's just where he decided to end
Who
it.
knows? Just
And it just shuts off. It's just done.
Oh.
Alright, you two talk. I have to be back in a minute.
Right. I threw up the banner. Should we do the other Batwoman videos he's talked about, or should we save these? Like, why the hate for Batwoman?
Absolutely not. I kind of want to get to work. I'm really excited to make some forward momentum on our Y.A.R.P original content.
Yes.
So as much as I would like to get into the tisms of other videos, I think we should kind of keep the stream short today and work on that, because I think we're making some real serious headway now that we actually have Luke available.
Yes. Okay. So thank you all for watching with this tism with us, because and then I just hit the button, just interrupt the stream, just with that.
Yeah, just who knows?
Who knows?